top, down the line, any miss header, any flick on, and this ball is travelling. So they've got to be switched on that the likes of Rodney and Dissaravwe aren't running in behind, gambling, and just be aware to the danger as we do kick off. As the game does kick off, Forest Green going from left to right, going down the left-hand side. In front of those Forest Green fans, bombing on forward. They've got options to the left-hand side, but it's overhit there, and you can hear the cheers from the home fans. Morrison picking the ball up, just went forward 20-30 yards. Good sign of intent, but unfortunately his pass to the left was straight off. Yeah, it was a bit eager, wasn't it? It was really good initially, and then the final pass really let him down. But if he's got more of that in the locker, I think Forest Green would be very happy to see that come out tonight. So Forest Green from left to right where we are. The search a ball forward for Mendy, can't find a player in the pink of Forest Green. Header back to the goalkeeper of Watler for Rochdale. Rochdale in an all blue kit, top, shorts and socks. Keeps it a sky blue kit, it's a different shade of blue. Forest Green quite distinctive in their pink and black away shirts. And Iceland in an orange goalkeeper's kit. It's all Forest Green in the first minute. McAllister finds Horton, tries to find a bit of space and unleash Ricardo Rees. But, well, Savage certainly said he's going to bring the game to Rochdale. In the first minute, he's doing just that. Yeah, it's a really positive start from Forest Green. Rochdale just struggling at the moment, although there's only 1.5 minutes gone on the clock, but Forest Green have been brighter in that phase, haven't really given Rochdale an opportunity to get on the ball yet. Long ball over the top, Morrison didn't usher off a goal kick like he wanted to, and Rochdale got on the end of that. Defensive mistake from Forest Green. Rochdale the ball, the edge of the area, going towards forward, shot goes in, goes towards the far post, that's in! One defensive error from Forest Green. Rochdale pounce onto the end of it, and it's tapped in from Dissaravwe. And that was an error for Forest Green since Rochdale won, Forest Green 0. Yeah, and unfortunately I think I'm going to bear a bit of the brunt of that one. As soon as I said that Forest Green has started brightly, hadn't given Rochdale an opportunity to get on the ball, there's a mistake on the back line, right on the byline. And Rochdale just put a ball into the penalty area. It's a simple tap-in. Isted trying to get to it, but just couldn't keep it out. And Rochdale, despite Forest Green's early 90-second spell, are in the lead. It was Morrison, wasn't it? I think it was, who just tried to usher the ball out for a goal kick. Whether it held up in the rain, I don't know, but it didn't work. Rochdale immediately got it back, and there was danger from that. You knew they were going to find the back of the net doing so, but you don't want to point fingers, but sometimes you have to. Just the way they just ushered the ball out and naively thought he was doing so, and Rochdale pounced on it. Yeah, would you also call that curse of the commentator, maybe? Yeah, we can try and blame you, but no, I mean, yeah. It was poor, wasn't it, from Morrison? Yep. It was simple stuff. He should have. You can see he was under a bit of pressure on the long ball over the top. He thought about kicking it long or just seeing it out for danger. Tried to usher it out for the goal kick instead. And that's why I think letting the ball bounce is going to be costly tonight. Just got to have to deal with it because it's going to skid and carry on, and you're going to become under pressure. Mendy commits himself and wins the ball back for Forest Green on the halfway line. Finds Woku. It's a positive start from Forest Green, but they find themselves 1-0 down already. Rochdale have got men behind the ball after Mendy won the ball well. McAllister to the right to find Ahmed. Back to Campbell. Forest Green the ball into the area, but Rochdale are so well camped back there. As Forest Green still have possession, but they go nowhere. Rochdale saying, come get us. They've got the goal advantage of Rochdale already. Down the left, Forest Green go. Morrison tries to make amends for his error, but he puts the ball in towards the 6-yard box. Punched clear by the keeper. Another ball into the area, finds Horton with an audacious overhead kick and goes off for actually goes into the hands of the keeper. Yeah, Morrison on loan from Bristol City, Ruben, and we were talking about loan players, weren't we, just before the game with Steve Kitchen back in the studio. There was an error there. There's just 2 balls on the pitch, but it's quickly kicked up by Campbell. It's come back onto the pitch. Now Ahmed plays the ball out. Referee should technically stop that, but I'm not sure the referee was aware. No. Forest Green go long, but Rochdale get the ball back. You can already see they've got the confidence behind them. But yeah, Morrison on loan from Bristol City. Well, that's why they get sent out on loan, to make errors at a lower level and not necessarily for the team that their parent club. And it was all him, unfortunately. The aerial ball didn't hit it out for safety. Tried to keep it on, tried to rush up for a goal kick. got dispossessed, and Rochdale came forward and scored. And they're looking to do the same again down the right-hand side. Kirkhoff wins the ball back for Forest Green, but again it goes into Rochdale's path again. It's opening up for them on the left-hand side now. Through Perry. Force back, and it's all uphill for Forest Green now, because Rochdale, we said they like their 1-0s, they're good defensively. They've got their one goal lead already. And you've got to say, when Morrison got dispossessed, it was poor. Rochdale got the ball back. Let's put a few passes in. It wasn't that they were straight through a goal. They were well worked after doing so, but to give the ball away in such a threatening position, a goal was likely.
Yeah, and it's just going to be a case of how does he bounce back now? Such a long time to go for him to clear his head. He's going to need his teammates.
Rochdale player loses his boot, tackling Horton. It's going to be a wet sock now. Ahmed gives the ball away now to Rochdale on the halfway line. One back from Horton. But Rochdale get the ball back as Reese can't be found from the through ball. It's continuing to rain. I'm saying torrentially and pretty heavy, but again the pitch looking absolutely great.
Well, one thing that goal does do is it brings the atmosphere straight into it from the off. The drums from the Rochdale home end are thumping away rhythmically.
Mendy gets dispossessed and moves on the 50-50. Disarray gets the ball as the ball's played into the 6-yard box. Mendy wins the first header, finds McAllister, taps to Horton, back to McAllister, goes long, chases Ricardo, but he just can't get to the end of it. It's well read by the defence of Rochdale. 6.5 minutes gone, Rochdale 1, Forest Green 0. I think Forest Green aren't looking too bad on the ball. Just the fact they've had one error and they've given the ball away and Rochdale scored. And that's the disappointing thing. They started rightly, went with the game plan, but naively got dispossessed and gave the ball away and Rochdale scored. Can't do that when you're away from home against the league leaders. Kirkhoff to Biabu. So Chile. Biabu on the left-hand side. Babalola not featuring today, not on the bench. Forest Green looking for some passes. Do so through Mendy. Crosses the halfway line, clips it forward, and it's a bit simple from Forest Green, and it's easily read, isn't it, these route one passes they're doing. McAllister gives the ball away through a foul, actually, on the just in the centre circle, taking down Callum Perry. No card for that, but he knew exactly what he was doing there, was Carl McAllister.
Yeah, I think the saving grace there for McAllister was that the touch was really, really heavy, and I don't think the Rochdale player was ever going to get onto the end of it. Knocked it too far and then saw an opportunity to run into McAllister and go down. He's won his team the free kick, and they have taken it and playing it across the back line.
There comes Rochdale again, and through ball to go into the area, placed towards the 6-yard box. Poor ball from Berger, you've got to say, into the hands of Isid, but just huge dog legs there from the Forest Green defence.
Yeah, and the confidence for Jake Berger there, he had all the time in the world and played a ball in with the outside of his boot instead of his left foot, which he could have done. And that's just how Rochdale feel at the moment, that they can play with that extra bit of flair.
Forest Green trailing by goal to nil here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. BBC Radio Gloucestershire at Scotland, aka the Crown Oil Arena. A bit different to the Forest Green Rovers club sponsors. Mendy building up from the back, again goes long. Ahmed he finds, chests it down to Horton. He's got Ricardo Reese in front of him, he can find him. Might go himself, does Horton. Shot goes in, goes off the backside of Reese for a goal kick. Took a few ricochets on the way. I don't think it's going to work over the top today for Forest Green, because you look up, there's just Ricardo Reese there and some big goal defenders around him.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for Forest Green, and as you were saying earlier, Reese needs that support going forward. A comfortable header away from Forest Green as the goal kick was taken, but yeah, Forest Green got it all to do now, but luckily time is on their side.
It is, they've got a lot of time, 9 minutes gone. Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. Disarray the goal scorer, as again Forest Green get dispossessed through Woku, but it's mopped up by Kirkhoff. He gets the ball away again, and Rochdale come on forward. This is another error from Forest Green, leading to some danger. They're tracking back at Forest Green. Kirkhoff put an A challenge in, forcing Rochdale back towards the corner flag. The initial danger's gone. You can't keep doing this, Forest Green, as they've given the ball away cheaply, and Rochdale doing it up from the back now. Through to Perry, down the left-hand side. Whether just thinking they've got more time than they have, is it naivety and Rochdale too good, or they just poor decision making?
I think it's just a lapse in concentration, just that momentary break in it. It can be deadly with the likes of Devante Rodney. So hungry and so quick and alert to the danger, just picking the pocket of the Forest Green back line. Rovers already got his goal as well, so we were saying the pairing of those two up top for Rochdale really dangerous for Forest Green and looking to snuff it out and kind of deal with it early. They did the exact opposite.
Horton crosses the halfway line, finds McAllister on the far right. Armand's making a run in the middle, draws a man away, still with McAllister, finds Horton on the edge of the D, looks to have a shot. It's so congested there, goes into the penalty box, runs into traffic, looks a bit frustrated there as Horton, but Rochdale just, they're sitting deep and they're not allowing Forest Green anywhere near the goal. And Woku can't find that ball forward, he gives the ball away cheaply, and Rochdale come on forward. It's fine into Suave, he's got options to his right as the ball's played into the middle, and the forward goes to Berger. Goes past one challenge, one back by Campbell, with a bit of a risque challenge at the edge of the area.
I thought it was a really well executed challenge, just used his strength against Berger, the smaller player in that instance.
Ricardo Reese can't be found on the ball over the top, and it goes into the hands of Watmer.
There seems to be an element of Forest Green just forcing their passing a little bit, just trying to go through the Rochdale players when there's no option on. And that's where the turnover and possession comes from, just balls ricocheting off these men in blue. You just think if Forest Green can just turn around if they need to and go back the way and just reset instead of trying to force these balls through the middle that aren't always there.
The problem is Rochdale, it's easy to say to Forest Green, will come get us. They go down the right hand side of Rochdale, would beat the offside trap. Kirkhoff tracking back, they're looking good as Rodney takes a touch towards goal and saved from Isted off for a corner with a well-placed powerful shot. And
it's a really good save.
It is a good save. Rochdale have the ball, they're looking so dangerous.
They do. Every time they pick up the ball in the final third, you think there's danger here. Isted on that occasion got down low. It was a really solid strike, just zipping off the surface. Using it to his advantage was Rodney. He just tips it over the crossbar. I think it just bounces off his gloves, it bounces off the floor and goes up into the air.
First corner for Rochdale. They can score against Forest Green in the return fixture at the New Lawns on the corner in their 1-0 victory. First corner of the game today. Played short to the edge of the area. Played in second time towards the far post. Well kept on, but it goes into the hands of Isted. He looks up for options, there's no one there, but plays it long, and there's Audacious looking for Biabu, but McAllister gets the ball back through to Ricardo Reese. Biabu on the ball, but it's more blue shirts tracking back than pink shirts bombing forward, so it's still Biabu. The danger's over from the break for Forest Green, because Rochdale get back. Ahmed can't go past his man, goes back to McAllister, looking for Ricardo Reese, who just managed to get a touch on the ball, but the ball goes off for a goal kick as a heavy touch from Horton. 13 minutes gone, Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 0.
You are right though, Billy, when Forest Green go forward, they're outnumbered so quickly. It's just really good organisational skills and discipline really from Rochdale that allow them just to fill back in when they need to. They know their roles and they do it so well. They're really well drilled, but it just doesn't seem to be that urgency going forward from Forest Green when they get the ball in the wide areas.
No goals in the National League just yet, but a couple in the Premier League, Ruben.
Yeah, Manchester City 1-0 up against Fulham. Antoine Semenyo with the goal there. Crystal Palace leading Burnley by a goal to 0. New signing Strand Larsen scoring for the home side.
The Etihad just under 10 miles away from here in Rochdale. Imagine having similar conditions of pouring rain. Again, Forest Green just go long. It's just... Yes, Ricardo Reese is good. He gets on the end of one, it works well, but he doesn't look anywhere close to getting on the end of one yet. Rochdale build up from the back. Forest Green turn a little bit of a press on, and they go back to the goalkeeper, who goes long. Morrison again struggled, and he sees the ball bounce over him. He is really struggling, and takes a touch of recovery and plays it out for a throw. And Biabu can keep the ball on. He can, but he's looking vulnerable there, is Morrison. Got brought in to the starting 11 of the one change from Savage. Jaden Clark moving to the bench and Biabu pushed on forward. Hasn't worked so far. Horton looking to find Reese, but the ball gets nipped off him from the defence of Perry back to the goalkeeper.
I think he was looking for Ahmed. You could hear him scream in anguish when he realised he got the pass wrong, but it wasn't too bad as it almost fell to Ricardo Reis.
It did, yeah, it was fortuitous he did so, but just a few inches away from him. Savage edge of his technical area, getting wet as the rain continues to pour. That long ball goes into Eisted's hands. Woku back to Eisted. Good game we've got so far. You've got to say Rochdale are looking like a good team though. Ruthless, been gifted one chance and took it. Mendy building up from the back. Looks for options. He's got Horton in front of him, Ahmed, McAllister. Just plays it to Horton aerially. Needs a good touch on him, and it is one. McAllister turns past his man. Nelson's in the box though. Got Horton's popped up there to the air. Takes a shot well blocked from the defence of Rochdale. Off for Forest Green, Rovers Stoke. Probably the best chance of the game so far for Forest Green. Yeah,
that's much better from Rovers going forward. McAllister just putting a little ball into Horton. Takes it on this first touch, and then on the second releases his strike. It's a good block from Rochdale, but it was a good link-up play from McAllister and Horton.
Yeah, it was good from Horton. Ahmed wins himself a throw.
That's going to be a painful one.
It is a painful one, right below the waist.
I think it's right in the solar plexus of the Rochdale player. It's probably taken all of the wind out of his lungs so far.
You can feel a few ooze there. He doesn't want to go off, does he? Or get any treatment of the Rochdale player.
Yeah.
Whacked with a wet ball.
Just need a moment.
Yeah, I think one of those, half the population might feel a bit of sympathy for him. And unfortunately, one of those, but also the whole population sometimes find it a bit funny when it's not them. He's just taking a bit of a breather. Might have a bit of pain just above the tummy when these things happens to you. Yes, he gets the applause from the Rochdale fans. It's Dan Moss. Thrown to Forest Green from that. Ahmed all the way back to Mendy. Looking to take upon Wan. Finds it to Horton. As Ricardo Reis is in the area. Ricardo Reis on goal, and he gets a good save from Watmouth. Two good chances in a couple of minutes. We said about giving Ricardo Reis an inch. He did well to actually control it.
Yeah, what a touch that was from Ricardo Reis. Just fizzed into him, and it stuck to his foot like super glue, and then instantly got a strike away just straight at the keeper. Good save. Spilt it on the first attempt and then smothered it, but that's what Ricardo Reis needs.
This is the problem. Forest Green are playing okay. They're playing well at times. So are Rochdale, but Rochdale's been gifted the goal from Forest Green. Ahmed down the right, to edge of the area, wins off a corner. Forest Green's first. They've got into the game the last few minutes, creating some good chances. Ricardo Reis forced a save from Watmouth, was straight into him.
Can we be critical of the strike? He was almost like a snapshot, wasn't it? He had to do it on his second touch instantly. Did he set himself?
The touch was very good, but because it was a bit bobbly, wasn't it? He didn't have full control over it. Horton with the corner. Rochdale with every man back. Played towards the far post. Trickles back to Horton. Puts another ball into the area, into the congested box. Ahmed with the high boot, but it's cleared by Rochdale off for a Forest Green Rovers throw. It was a high boot there from Ahmed. That's what the Rochdale defence are arguing about. Woku with the throw back to McAllister. Still got players up there from the corner. Clipped towards Ricardo Reis. Can't find Kirkhoff. Mendy gets the second ball though. Turns past one. Pits it in towards the far post, and Rochdale leave it. Ahmed might just keep the ball on. He does so successfully, but he can't find a teammate of Woku, and Forest Green on the back foot now. But Horton wins the ball back edge of the D, and he has a bit of tumble in the wet conditions, and Rochdale come away with it. They might have a break as Forest Green committed a few men forward. They go down the right. They roll over the left-hand side as well. Forest Green backing off. They've gifted them the freedom here of Rochdale, and Mossel gets a block in from the ball into the area, but still with Rochdale. Back to the defence. Another goal at the Etihad a few miles away, Ruben.
Yeah, O'Reilly's doubled the lead for Manchester City. They lead Fulham by 2-0.
It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 0 here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. Suave after 2 minutes, after Forest Green gave the ball away really poorly from Morrison. And Rochdale have a throw, about 10-15 yards up from the corner flag in the Forest Green Rovers half. Back to Perry, and the referee signals a foul throw.
Yeah, it bounced on the line before it came back in, which is strange.
Should it be a foul throw, should it? Or retake it?
Well, he threw it so far back down the line that it just kind of bounced out of play before it came back in.
So it's a retake. Strange one.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Perry with the throw. Let's see if it's better this time, man. He tried to take it quickly and it spilled up his hands in the wet. He's taking his time with the throw. Throws it down the line, taking Berger. Berger being hustled well by Ahmed. He gets away a free kick. Does Ahmed. It looked a bit cheap, but I think again it's a bit like the penalty decision on Saturday. He gave the referee a decision to make. It's right on the edge of the pitch. It's not a penalty, but it's a chance for Rochdale to put the ball into the area. The rain continuing to pour now. You can see the players' shirts are drenched already. Only had 21 minutes of the game. Forest Green trailing by a goal to nil. Free kick. You can see that Rochdale have the height advantage. They push the big men into the box, surrounding the far post. Played in towards the far post, so it's dealt with from Forest Green with the first ball. Second ball's looped in, and there's a decent shot from the edge of the area. Goes into Eistead's hands, it bolts it out quickly, but, well, it's one of those you kind of just have a go when it comes up on the half volley, and he certainly did that.
Yeah, keeper did well to keep hold of it, because if you drop one of those, it can be really, really awkward and embarrassing. He's done well.
Rochdale going down the right-hand side. Rodney is onside. He's got options in the box. Can this be two as he plays it towards goal? The shot goes in, blocked by Kirkcroft. He should have done better with that as Rodney, but danger's not over yet, because Rochdale again play the ball forward. Then looking threatening. Perry, edge of the area. Bit selfish there, you've got to say, with Rodney, because he had options either side of him. No Forest Green player in sight. And Ruben, that was lucky to only be 1-0 still. 100%.
I was just wondering where the Forest Green defence actually went there. Pretty sure Robbie Savage will be really disappointed with that one.
Rochdale on the right. Purple patch for the home team. Edge of the box, they have the ball with Rodney. Forced further away from goal. Forest Green with Horton and Reese still up. They need to get some numbers back. Rochdale playing the ball in and around the Forest Green penalty area. To Gordon. Down the right through Rodney. Another ball in towards the far post. Overhit. Might go for a throw, and it does Forest Green's way. And danger over there because Forest Green were on the back foot.
They were. Now they've got an opportunity to break forward themselves with the throw in halfway inside their own half.
There's a guy with a camera who's filming someone very close to us. I don't know who it is, but he's just been fixated on him. I can't see any recognisable faces to the left. Can you, Ruben?
I don't know. Who am I supposed to be looking at?
I don't know. He's fixated. Maybe some influencer we're too old to know about as Ahmed goes down the right. Might keep the ball on because it's in the wet conditions. Might want himself a corner. And he actually just does well to keep the ball on. While Rochdale nip the ball off him and go on forward. Good work rate from him. And Rochdale's clearance is dealt with by Mendy. And Mendy finds Woku. 23 minutes gone. Forest Green trailing by a goal to nil. Good game though. Rochdale has some chances, and you can hear the home crowd know that they are a threat. But Forest Green are working hard themselves. Ricardo Reese probably the best chance so far. Forcing a save from the keeper as he's played through. Horton with a heavy touch because it played so powerfully to him. And Rochdale come away with it. A goal in the National League, Ruben, we can give you. It's not too many other goals apart from the early one here after 2 minutes from the Suave, but Ruben, another goal elsewhere.
Yeah, York have taken the lead against Hartlepool. Newby on 19 minutes.
They would hoping Forest Green could do them a favour today and try and get something off the league leaders of Rochdale, but not at the moment. Rochdale confident on the ball in their own half. East drives on forward. Forest getting numbers back. Morrison Tested again. He loses out again as well. And Rochdale put the ball in towards the far post. There's no one there to tap it home for Rochdale. This is his second chance though. Forrest desperately to clear, but still wins Rochdale. And the players come back and manage to get a touch away, and Forest Green look to come on forward. But again, well, copy and paste. Morrison just being outdone with a long ball over the top.
Yeah, it's the balls over the top he really doesn't like, and I think that's something that Rochdale now will know, and they will absolutely pinpoint him from now on as they go down the side that he is on.
Ball in towards goal, but it's overhit, and Isa deals it. I know you don't want to single a player out. You tend to take him off. He was brought on today. He's into the starting lineup, pushing Jilibiabi out forward, and Clark moved to the bench.
But he needs help.
First.
He needs help. I think he needs someone behind him, or someone who's going to run in behind him when the long ball is played over the top, on the off chance that he doesn't make it.
It hasn't been the off chance though, unfortunately. It's been a few. Mendy forward, looking for options. We find Ahmed on the right. Morrison pushing up further, still with Forest Green, and Jilibiabi seems to be playing quite a central role at the moment. Woku's found in the middle. Morrison the player on the left hand side going forward. Woku's creating another option in the middle, which who he finds. Forest Green with possession. McCarthy's on the far left. Turns past one challenge. Has an advantage. Forest Green might actually want to take that really, because they've still got possession, but they've got 11 Rochdale players between the ball and the goal. They recycle to the left and Morrison again. A searching ball towards the far post, and it goes off. Well, I go for a corner actually. This went off for a goal kick first, and the linesman signals goal kick. The keeper just saw it drop him, but it went off before he touched it.
Yeah, it came off the crossbar, that. But I will say that Morrison looks so much more comfortable going forward than he does defending, but he's going to need to work on that element of his game, as this is obviously the team top of the table and they are going to be attacking, and unfortunately you've kind of marked yourself.
Kirkhoff commits himself. Handball calls against Forest Green. It's given by the referee, and he committed himself. He got dispossessed, which meant huge problems in the Forest Green defence. Thankfully, Forest Green handled the ball and the referee had to stop play.
I'm just wondering, can Kirkhoff go in and cover for Morrison, just give him that extra bit of support in the back?
He needs some support, does Morrison. He's the player to his left on the Rochdale far right. Mendy wins the 50-50, not too convincingly, and the second ball's easily won back by Rochdale. Rochdale, they look quite comfortable there, don't they? Yes, Forest going to have a few chances, but you can tell that Rochdale are looking comfortable with their lead. Savage having a chat with the fourth official. I'm not sure what over. Referee stops play for something. There's a player needs treatment. He's going to talk to the...
something's happened, because Robbie Savage isn't happy on the touchline.
It's the assistant referee. Has he pulled something? I don't know. The assistant referee's come off, or he's talking to the referee. Having a drinks break after 28 minutes?
Not in this weather.
No, you just need to open your mouth, don't you, to get some fluids on.
It can't be looking at the state of the pitch, because it looks immaculate. So it's got nothing to do with the rain, you would imagine.
So the assistant referee, it's always a sub on the officials bench, the fourth officials. This is what fourth official. This is what you wake up in the morning for. Darren Rogers.
Mr. Darren Rogers, as the team sheet has labelled him.
It is your time to shine. The assistant referee's pulled something. He doesn't fancy it on a cold Wednesday night, does he, here in Rochdale?
Don't blame him, to be fair.
He's okay.
But which official is coming off?
Well, we don't know, do we? There used to be back in the day where you'd be able to tell who the assistant referees were by the colour of their flags. It's the yellow flagged assistant referee.
Well, it's really simple. It's either Joe Simpson or Anthony Moore coming off.
Take a 50-50. But Savage is seeing how he is. Whether he would have pulled something.
I don't think he's too impressed, is he?
I don't know why. The fourth official's injured.
Is it because he thinks maybe that there have been some offside calls that should have been made? Can't quite believe that the back line hasn't kept the shape?
Maybe just we say that Morrison's struggling on that left hand side. Maybe the linesman can't keep up with play either. I guess if you're feeling a twinge and there's a fast player which you can't keep up with, it's an interesting one. It's a stoppage in play.
But this is it's the conditions really where if you don't warm up properly, you can do yourself an injury.
And to be fair, the fourth official, he hasn't got a little hut here, so
no.
He's going to continue getting wet, is Mr. Simpson or Mr. Moore. Darren Rogers' time to shine, though.
Well, in the meantime, I'll tell you about another goal in the National League, and it goes the way of Yeovil Town. 1-0 on 27 minutes. They lead Boreham Wood by a goal to nil.
Boreham Wood struggling with a bit of form. As our Forest Green, both the Forest Green and Boreham Wood pushing for the top positions earlier on in the season. Well, Forest Green, as it stands, on 58 points. Rochdale on 73. Rochdale 3 games in hand as well, showing how ruthless it's been. They're still getting warmed up. It's Mr. Darren Rogers, the fourth official.
Well,
we can give you more goals in the Premier League.
Goals galore, Billy. It's Manchester City 3, Fulham 0. Erling Haaland on 39 minutes. And Crystal Palace have doubled their lead over Burnley. It's 2-0. Strand Larsen with both of those goals. It didn't really happen for him at Wolves, but since his transfer to Crystal Palace, I have to say, loving life down at Selhurst Park.
So, the fourth official has got all his kit ready. This is what the dream is, the fourth official. Called upon. Has he got all his right cards and everything? Not at the moment.
They're just making sure that the official who's come off has got his coat on.
The fourth official still getting his tracksuits off. I think Savage has offered the fourth official to want to sit in our dugout.
That's nice of him.
He said call a hammy or something.
I mean, if I'm that official, I'm probably heading for the showers. Nice hot water.
He can still fourth official though, can't he?
Well, yeah, he's probably expected to.
Yeah, he's got to hold the subs board up. We said about Darren Rogers' time to shine. He's not making the most of it. Always milking it. He's taking his time to come on. Here he is. It's the
not to a round of applause,
well, no,
but to ironic jeers.
Immediately gets the cheers of the fans.
I've got to say that took longer than I thought it would have.
Yeah, especially if they knew, because you'd have thought they might tuck the referee knew what's happening. I'm sure they would have said that Darren Rogers, your time's to shine shortly. So just keep an eye on scores elsewhere. He's just said, Ruben, didn't you, that Bournemouth losing against Yeovil.
Yep, they are.
Forest Green travel to Bournemouth in just over a week and a half's time. In between hosting Carlisle, another tricky game for Forest Green, as is this one. They're losing by 1-0. Disvalvo, the goal scorer, for 2 minutes after Morrison gave the ball away poorly. Forest Green themselves a free kick. They take very quickly. Find McAllister on the right. In his own half though. Searching ball, looking for Biabu. He's onside. Doesn't get to the ball first, and Rochdale have it deep in their own half and manage to clear convincingly and well. Savage really frustrated with that because Forest Green left themselves exposed, and Morrison tracking back again. It's down the Forest Green left, the Rochdale right. They managed to clear. Savage, I'm not sure what he was frustrated with then. Was it Biabu's work?
I think it's Biabu's work rate. He's just shouted over at Gilly. I've got to say, he didn't look like he really wanted to go after the ball.
Forest Green give away a throw-in deep in their own half, only 3 yards up from the corner flag. Yeah, there's a long ball over the top. Biabu's got some pace to him, just didn't get there. As Rochdale line themselves up for, it's going to be a long throw coming into the box. They play it short to Gordon. Forest Green managed to win the ball back through Biabu after that shouting from his manager. Plays it forward for throwing. Get up was the shout from Savage in front of us. And Rochdale, I would say they're managing the game. They're in no rush. Who can blame them? They're 1-0 up.
Comfortable, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Forest Green have had a few chances. Ricardo Rees, probably the best of them when he got played through on goal. Decent first touch, but he just couldn't control his shot with the second touch. Went into the hands of the keeper. Horton had a decent effort into the area, well charged down. Kirkross committed himself again, and he doesn't win the ball, which is problem for Forest Green. And here come Rochdale again. Forest Green tracking back in numbers. But still with Rochdale have possession, but just in the nick of time, Forest Green through Campbell getting the ball back. Kirkhoff's got to be a bit careful there.
That was just so easy for Rochdale to turn out and play their way through the heart of the Forest Green defence. It started with Devante Rodney on the halfway line, just able to receive the ball from his goalkeeper, turn and get away from two Forest Green players, play one ball through the back line. Forest Green defender misses it, and luckily goal scorer Disarave just couldn't quite get it out of his feet, but he was definitely away.
Roku looking for Morris on the left hand side. He's got options in the box. One of them being Biabu. His shot is blocked from the defence of Rochdale. Forest Green Rovers corner. Their second. Just a word on Kirkhoff. That's twice now, isn't it? He's committed himself and lost the foul, which has just caused problems because suddenly your centre back's nowhere near in the defensive line.
There's interesting discourse between Biabu and Robbie Savage, having a bit of back and forth.
Savage not happy with him.
No, and Biabu frustrated at the feedback he's been getting.
Oh, the fourth official's getting involved here. Darren Rogers, he's another word of the referee to making sure the ball's in the quadrant. Is that the correct word?
Yeah, it is the correct word. Well done.
The referee's talking to the corner taker there for Forest Green. They're really dissecting if that ball's in there or not. Moves it back a millimetre.
Just brushes it with his fingertips, doesn't he? Ball doesn't even move.
So corner to Forest Green. Clip towards the near post. Forest Green with the first header, but can't get it towards goal with the Kirkhoff header. Forest get the ball back through Jilly Biabu. Back heels it to Mendy. To Horton on the right. Good first touch control in the wet conditions. Mendy looks for options. Rochdale with every man back, defending from the corner still with Mendy.
The movement off the ball for Forest Green is non-existent there.
Well, he had nowhere to go when he tried to find the player behind him and played straight out for a throw. He was pretty pressed well by Rochdale, but needed a bit of support.
Yeah.
Mendy.
Don't want to point fingers, but Woku just refused to move and give him an option, and then had a wrying smile on his face when the ball was played off the pitch. Savage gesturing wildly in front of the dugout.
Third up the line, which Ahmed wins off for a Forest Green Rovers throw. Ahmed looks for options, back it goes to Mendy. Half calls a foul throw there in front of the new fourth official. That's close to it. 37 minutes gone. Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. Morrison on the left hand side finds Roku with his first touch. Roku looking for Biabu. Can he get to the ball first? He can. Good work from him that time. Forcing it by the corner flag. Tap back to Roku to Kirkhoff. Flip the ball into the area. Finds Ricardo Rees and just can't control the ball his first touch. And Rochdale come away with it. Forest Green is so committed. There's no one in their own half apart from Eisted. Thankfully Rochdale didn't make the most of it. But they're still playing quite advanced at the pitch. Morrison commits himself, doesn't win the ball. I'm
just amazed at how much time there is for Rochdale players to just take a touch and turn on the ball and drive forward before they're challenged by a Forest Green player.
Mendy gives away a silly free kick. The header's won by Berger. It looked to be drifting off for a throw. It would have been a Forest Green Rovers throw, but once the ball came off Berger's head, Mendy just pushed him.
Is it naive? Is it frustration? What's
silly? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that gives Rochdale a chance from a set piece. It was going nowhere, that ball, and that from the captain of Forest Green. Didn't need that.
And now Forest Green back under pressure from this set piece. It could be a two-man wall just on the very edge of the penalty area.
Watched every man back for Forest Green. Two-man wall, as you said. Played into the 6-yard box. Eisted watches it and clutches it well. Wants to play it out quickly. Biabu's there if he can find him. There's two players tracking back as well. Biabu's touch is heavy and the Rochdale defence easily clears up. Back to their keeper of Watmouth. Right thing to do, isn't it? But he's always going to be isolated. You need a perfect ball and a perfect touch there for Biabu to go through.
Just a little bit disjointed from Forest Green in the middle of the park.
And Mendy, he commits himself, doesn't win the ball either. Being shrugged off by Disawave. And This will easily played around him, does Mendy. And the advantage is given as well. Rochdale on the edge of the penalty area, shot coming in into the hands of Isted. Well watched. Just needed a touch from Rodney. Might have been in his way as well, but he watched it well, Isted, to his right hand side.
Yeah, it's a really awkward one for Isted. But he did really well to deal with it, kept his eyes on it, got down quick, made sure that he didn't spill it into a dangerous area either.
Just over 5 minutes to go till half-time. Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. At half-time, we have to hear from the Forest Green Rovers fan, David Fowles, who's walked from York to Rochdale. So after Forest's defeat on Saturday, he's walked to Rochdale today, raising money for Prostate Cancer UK. Here is his interview. You can find him on Instagram, his handle at Forest Green Rover. Good pun for him. So far raised £641. He's going to be on the Radio Gloucestershire breakfast show as well tomorrow. Not the best conditions to walk from York across the Pennines here to Rochdale, but we've had a word with him before the game. You can listen to him at half-time. We're back in the studio. Steve Kitchen will give you the latest scores in the Premier League and National League. A few different kickoffs in the Premier League this evening. Ahmed goes past one challenge, drives on forward, needs support. It comes in shape of McAllister. Left-footed, finds Kirkhoff. You can see they're organised defensively, quickly putting men behind the ball. Rochdale, audacious ball from Mendy, and it's just easily won back from Rochdale. But Ross winning the ball back from Reese, edge of the area. Scotsman's to his left as Biarbu, who mistimes his run, and it's easily clear from Rochdale. Savage looking really frustrated with that, because he just needed to continue his run. Then Biarbu seemed to give up.
I think it's a poor decision from Ricardo Reese. He was looking always to use Biarbu, but Biarbu's run should have opened up the defence and enabled Reese to get that space away for a shot.
Horton with a delicious touch goes past his man. Needs options though. Finds McAllister down the right. Again, Rochdale defensively, Shaw. Campbell to Mendy. Takes a heavy touch, go past one player. Back to McAllister. Again, Rochdale, they're so well drilled defensively. Ahmed down the right. Goes past one challenge. Plays it across goal, and it's cleared half from the Rochdale defence. Back to McAllister. Looking to get a shot away. A decent one as well. Scores! Goal! McAllister! Draws level! A shot from the edge of the D. Powerfully placed to the keeper's left-hand side. And 3 minutes before half-time, Forest Green drew level. It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green 1.
And that is something that Kyle McAllister does so well. That's textbook Kyle McAllister. Just picks the ball up on his left foot, drives towards the penalty area, opens it up, has to skip away from a few challenges, and then just buries it, wraps his left foot around it. Doesn't go for the far corner this time, goes for the keeper's near post, and it buries into the bottom corner. And I think you have to say that has come from Ahmed, just working really hard down the right-hand side, puts the ball into the box, gives Forest Green that chance for a ricochet ball to fall to Kyle McAllister, and that is Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1, a few minutes out from half-time.
Robbie Savage looks like gives a little fist pump our way. Yeah, I've got to say for Ahmed as well, there was challenges coming in. You might have heard a bit of an ooh, it's because there's a player, ironically, almost took Ahmed down in the penalty area, but Ahmed stayed on his feet. The ball fell to McAllister. It was congested. We said how Rochdale's defence is strong. Really well placed shot from the Forest Green Rovers number 7.
It was a poor clearance initially, wasn't it? That went straight to McAllister's feet, and then they're a bit slow getting out and pressing McAllister. And I think they thought they'd done enough when they forced him onto the edge of the D, but he just found that little bit of space, took his chance and levelled it up.
Poor ball from Rochdale, played out for Forest Green, still on the halfway line. Kyle McAllister scoring 2 from 2. Scored against York on Saturday, and that defeat to York. And well, we were talking about the Crystal Palace goals early on.
Yeah.
There's been a few more since.
Yeah, I said Strand Larsen was loving life at Sellers Park. It was 2-0 to Crystal Palace. It's now 3-2 to Burnley. Goals in, well, all 3 goals within 5 minutes of each other. Hannibal, Anthony, and then a Lerma own goal. So, complete turnaround there at Sellers Park. Burnley 3-2 in the lead.
Can there be a turnaround here at Rochdale? Horton. Back to Mendy. Forest will take this at half-time. We're still, 30 seconds plus injury away from it. There was an injury. It was told the assistant referee, which forced a stop in play. So I reckon there could be about 4 minutes of time added on. Forest Green can see the last embers of the first half in that York defeat. Just sit tight and see what they can do in this first half. Yes, Forest Green gave the ball away in the second minute through Morrison and Rochdale scored. However, Rochdale have had many chances to make it more.
Yeah, I think on the whole, it's been a fairly even affair so far.
Yeah.
I think definitely, though, Rochdale are the more deadly going forward.
6 minutes of time added on.
6 minutes, Alexander.
He was now the fourth official, was assistant referee, due to his injury. He's the fault that the players got to stay an extra 6 minutes out in the drizzle and the rain. Hopefully Forest Green have got a change of kit to change into. McAllister back to Isted. Forest Green are slowing play down. It is tricky, isn't it? Because you'd love to try and get a second before half time. You've got to be aware that Rochdale are pretty good.
They are pretty good. That's a good quote.
Thank you. Forest Green build up in the back. Horton creates an option from the right hand side. Iwoku finds in his own half. Crosses the halfway line, but then plays it back to Mendy. Looking for options. Stands on the ball. Finds McAllister playing on the right hand side. Go back to Mendy. Looking to find Ahmed on the right. Force doesn't win the ball, but wins off a throw. Good work there from Forest Green. Just patient. Obviously, Savage giving a bit of a calm down motion there, and the old pointing to the temples, saying, think about it. We're in that 6 minutes of added on now. And Mendy sitting on the ball, playing it to the left. Well, Savage did say, we're not going to be like Carlisle, we're going to bring the game to them. We've seen that footage of Carlisle just passing the ball around, going nowhere. But we can't see what that bouncing ball is. But he manages to control it at the edge of the box. Points back to Horton on the right-hand side. Finds Ahmed in the area on the right. Clipped in towards the far post. Rochdale win the first header. Forest win the second though with Kirkhoff. Takes a touch. Thinks about shooting from the edge of the box. Plays to Morrison down the left instead. Rochdale again with 11 men behind the ball. Forest with Kirkhoff in the area. Plays the ball back. Forest Green switch off and give the ball away. They win the ball back though to the Rovers. Forest Green have possession, but they're so well marshalled of Rochdale's defence. Horton to Woku. Ahmed's on the right hand side. Woku's on the corner of the penalty area. Finds Ahmed. Back to McAllister. The defence of Rochdale pushes up. McAllister to Mendy. To Woku on the right hand side. A bit busy off the ball. We're forcing it back to McAllister. Finds Kirkhoff, who's in the centre circle. Gosh knows why he popped up in the overlapping run a few seconds ago.
Yeah, you're right. The movement off the ball has been so much improved since, 20 minutes in, when Forest Green were just really reluctant to do any movement off the ball.
McAllister looking to find Ahmed, who gets the ball through the deflection of the Rochdale defender. Back to Woku. To Horton, into the box. Forest quite confident in possession here. Woku in the area, tries to place a shot, well blocked from the Rochdale defence, and they quickly clear. Savage delighted with that now. The ball actually stays on somehow. It looked to be drifting off, and somehow the gravitational pull here in Scotland keep the ball on. Trickling along the edge of the area, and Isted has to come far out of his box to find his defence. Forest Green have got the ball back with their defence, and Rochdale will do a good job forcing them there, but there's a few nerves, I think, around here at Rochdale. McAllister in his own half to Campbell, to Kirkhoff, to Woku. He's got a man pressurising him of Gordon. We've had almost 4 minutes added 6. It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Back to Kirkhoff. Forest Green are just managing the game here. There's a lot of time added on to eke away, but they still have possession of Forest Green. Woku looking for Ahmed. How's he touched good on the edge of the area, drives on forward. Horton's an option, as is Ricardo Reese in the box, but he goes himself to Ahmed, goes past a couple of challengers, gets taken down from behind and wins up a free kick. Ahmed on a really impressive 5-10 minutes.
I've been impressed with him all game, and he's really physical. He's a really strong lad, and he reminds me a little bit of Manny Osadebe, the way he strides forward and just uses his power and just kind of dances through people. At times it looks like he might have just run it a bit too far, but somehow retains possession. Now, I've been really impressed with him this first half. He's done really well and was instrumental in Carl McAllister getting the leveller for Forest Green.
So free kick to Forest Green. It's, 30 yards away from goal? McAllister and Horton over it. I think it'll be McAllister, to the keeper's left. We've got a pretty good angle of this. It's a 4-man Warlander player lying on the floor. McAllister and Horton over it in the last minute of time added on. Forest can currently draw in to take them in front. That's another player joins the wall, keeps an eye on the short option of Ahmed. Referees are making sure everyone's okay. Carl McAllister leaves it for Horton. Horton plays it in and forces the save from the keeper to the left-hand side. Delightful free kick from Mr. Horton.
Yeah, we saw something similar at Altrincham, didn't we, where he took that free kick and we thought he had no right to shoot from there. It was going to be a left footer. It was a similar angle here. It wouldn't really suit the right foot of Nick Horton, but he bends it round the wall, aiming for the keeper's near post. He got a really good fingertip on it.
Yeah, I think it might have hit the post, but the keeper went safety in Paradise for corner. Horton to take. Probably the last action of the first half. Horton, right-footed, easily dealt with from the defence of Rochdale. Back to Carl McAllister, thinks about shooting, but it's so congested there. Plays to the left instead. Another ball into the area. Players optioned at Ahmed as well. He's the header into the keeper's hands. The referee blows for half-time. Savage put his head to his hands, knowing that his team, actually there, Ruben, finished on top.
Yep, the momentum was fully with the away side. Forest Green pegged back very, very early on through a mistake. And Rochdale, you have to say, looks so dangerous when they go forward. But Forest Green rallied well. They stayed in the game. They stayed true to what they were doing. And their best work came from when Ahmed was powering down the right side, right in front of us in the commentary position. Carl McAllister levels, and then the momentum really from that moment on was with Forest Green. But it was 1-1 at the moment. And the league leaders, do you think they'll be a bit disappointed?
I think they could have taken a chance at Rochdale. They went ahead off 2 minutes, Morrison giving the ball away. Good build up after that, Gordon finding Suave to play it past Eisted. But after that, they have had chances. I think they took a touch too many. Rodney to Suave having chances. When you've got to say the Forest Green defence got back well, they didn't take their chances, Rochdale, and Forest Green made them pay. Carl McAllister, after 43 minutes being found in the edge of the area, placed a shot really well to draw Forest Green. Forest Green will definitely take that, considering the start, considering how good Rochdale are. They're well and truly in this game. And yes, Savage was frustrated that they didn't take their chances towards the end of the half. I think he'll just say, just keep going, boys.
Yeah, he's got no reason not to. They turned it around. They under pressure, weren't they, Forest Green, very early on, for long periods of the game. And it looked a little bit strange from Forest Green, just a bit of a disconnect in the midfield, not sure who was sitting in the hole, giving Rochdale too much opportunity to run with the ball, turn, get into dangerous positions, no real closing down. But then something out of nowhere, Forest Green switch on, they're right back in the game, get a deserved equaliser.
Well, it's all to play for in the second half. Forest Green drawing level through Carl McAllister. Join us in 10 minutes so for the second half. Half-time in Scotland. It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1.
Thank you very much. This is a good old arm wrestle, isn't it? Looking forward to the second half of that one. Sounded like Forest Green Rovers the more disappointed for that half-time whistle to be blown. So Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. We'll round up all of the other half-time scores in the National League and catch up with what's been going on elsewhere as well in the Premier League and League 2 tonight.
Match night.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
If you know your Muppets from your morph, you'll love Rewind.
We are young. Heartache to heartache, we stand. Straight up now, tell me, do you really wanna love me forever?
Rewind.
Weekdays at 1.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
Yeah, bringing back the memories. And Nikki Price back with you tomorrow lunchtime here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. And Nikki with you from 10 through to 2. And of course the rewind every weekday from 1 through until 2 o'clock. It's match night on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. The evening show continues over on DAB here on 1413am, on FM on 95, 95.8 and 104.7 across the county. Also on Freeview 713 and on Listen Live with BBC Sounds. We're with Forest Green Rovers at league leaders Rochdale in the National League. When at half-time, it's Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1.
Long below Tom Morrison didn't usher off with a goal kick like he wanted to, and Rochdale get on to the end of that. Defensive mistake from Forest Green. Watch on the ball, the edge of the area, going towards forward. Shot goes in, goes towards the far post, that's in! One defensive error from Forest Green. Rochdale pounce onto the end of it, and it's tapped in from Disawame. And that was an error from Forest Green since Rochdale 1, Forest Green 0. Down the right. Goes past one challenge, plays it across goal, and it's cleared half from the Rochdale defence. Back to McAllister, looking to get a shot away. A decent one as well. Scores! Goal McAllister! Draws level! A shot from the edge of the D, powerfully placed to the keeper's left-hand side. And 3 minutes before half-time, Forest Green drew level. It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green 1.
Yeah, Forest Green conceding just at the start of the game and then getting one back just before the end of that first half. Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Then is a half-time score. Elsewhere in the National League, Boreham Wood are being held 1-1 by Yeovil Town. Yeovil taking the lead in the 27th minute. 1-1 on the score sheet there, but Brunt with the equaliser in the first half for Boreham Wood. No goals between Brackley and Halifax. It's Sutton United 0, Braintree Town 0 as well. And York City being held 1-1 at home by Hartlepool United. Newby with the opener for York City. McNally getting a goal back for Hartlepool 5 minutes before the half-time whistle there. Elsewhere then across the country, let's go to the Premier League. Into the second half of this early kick-off for Aston Villa against Brighton and Hove Albion, and there's still no goals there. 53 minutes on the clock. Aston Villa 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Manchester City lead Fulham by 3 goals to 0. Also a 7:30 kick-off this evening. Antoine Semenyo, Nick O'Reilly and Erling Haaland, the goal scorers for Manchester City. Haaland is back. All those goals coming in the first half. Manchester City leading them by 3 goals to 0. Tightening up the gap between them and themselves and Arsenal, who play tomorrow night. Nottingham Forest 0, Wolves 0 is the latest scoreline there as well in the other 7:30 kick-off. It's half-time between Crystal Palace and Burnley. Crystal Palace going 2-0 up through Jørgen Strand Larsen. But then amazingly, they conceded in the 40th minute. And at half-time, they were 3-2 down. Hannibal got that first goal for them in the 40th minute. Jayden Anthony in the 44th. And then in time added on, a Jefferson Lerma own goal means it's Crystal Palace 2, Burnley 3 at half-time. Midway for the first half in the 8:15 kick-off in the Premier League this evening, it's Sunderland 0, Liverpool 0. Other scorelines this evening. One game in the Championship is Charlton 0, Stoke City 0 at the break. And in League 2, no goals between Grimsby and Accrington Stanley at half-time. They're approaching half-time as well at the County Ground. Swindon Town 0, Newport County 0. Also a half-time score then approaching. That's you up to date then with the football so far today. That is the game so far today. Let's go back to Scotland then, where just before kick-off, Billy caught up with a Forest Green Rovers fan who he first met up with at York City on Saturday. That's because he was planning to walk from York to tonight's game in Rochdale for a very good cause. His name is David Foles, and this is what he had to tell Billy just a little earlier.
Well, David, you've just arrived from walking from the York game on Saturday. Why, to start with?
Well, I've got a relative who's going through treatment for prostate cancer at the moment, and I got an invite from Prostate Cancer to take part in Run the Month to raise money, and I thought, as Forest Green were playing at York and Rochdale, why not extend it and walk between the two? I don't know why I thought that, but it seemed a good idea at the time.
There's plenty of why not. So what was the walk like across the Pennines?
That part was all right because I was following the canal there. The worst day was the Sunday when I was going from York to Leeds, because it was a 50-kilometre day, that one, and the rain was like tonight, so all the footpaths were muddy or flooded, and that was fun getting back in the dark and wet, but it got the most out of the way in the first place.
Yeah, they say it's rained every day in the UK at some point this month. I'm sure you felt the rain as well the last few days as well.
Oh yeah, very much so. It's made it, well, doing it in February was always going to be a challenge, so the rain's made it extra fun.
And obviously the York game as well, we can talk about football for briefly. Did it give you much motivation for the walk after? It wasn't that bad a game for Forest Green. No, I think we deserved to draw. The handball at the end seemed a dead-on penalty to me, but it wasn't given, so what can you do? But I think we're playing well. It's just we're not quite getting the edge that's getting us the results that we need to get, and it will come. It just needs a bit of experience back, I think, with all the injuries we've had. York away was a tricky one, only to be made trickier going to top of the league against Rochdale. What do you expect after your walk today here at Rochdale?
Well, I'm going to be optimistic and go for a win, because you might as well have the optimism rather than just going expecting things to go badly. So 2-1, I reckon. And
how are you feeling? I know the players might be feeling after a busy week, going York Rochdale today and Carlisle on Saturday. How are your legs and feet?
Surprisingly all right. I've taken a couple of painkillers and they seem to have got rid of the main things, but I'm sure tomorrow morning I'll be feeling it.
Has there been many well wishes coming in from whilst you've been on the walk?
A few, yeah. I used to live up in Yorkshire, so there's been a few coming in, and like Hebden Bridge last night was great fun to catch up with a few people. It's been good.
Is there a particular, I know it's Prostate Cancer UK, is there a particular link or anywhere to find to donate to you specifically?
Yeah, it's a difficult one to find because the site isn't easy to find, but I've put a link on the forum, and also I'm putting the trip on Instagram, and I've changed my name to Forest Green Rover to try to make it easy to find, so if they look for that, they should be able to find it.
Are you walking home tonight, or what's your plan?
Walking back to the hotel. After that, no, definitely public transport from then on. I don't think any more walking's due.
Yeah, there's some tricky games coming up, is it? Is that you done for the season? You got any other plans coming up to raise the money for Prostate Cancer UK?
Oh no, that's probably me done for the season. But hopefully be able to reach a couple more away games over but the home games definitely.
Do you think a walk could be under the arch of Wembley? Do you reckon that's the plan for Forest Green this season?
It'd be great to go back to Wembley. After last time, it was such a good game that it would be a wonderful one to go back to.
Do you think it's possible? Again, talking back to football, I think everyone can see that probably winning the league's off the cards now, but certainly the importance of home advantage. Do you think it's possible? Yeah,
I think on our day we've got the quality to beat anyone, but then again, a lot of teams in our part of the league do, so it's going to be a bit of a lottery, but why not? Score prediction for tonight? 2-1. 2? Forest Green. Oh, yeah. I'm being optimistic. Maybe you're a bit tired after that walk. Yeah. I think that's true. Yeah.
It's on target at the moment. He's on target at the moment. So Forest Green Rovers fan David Foles, who went up to watch Forest Green Rovers at York, and instead of coming home, decided he was going to walk to Rochdale this evening. From Saturday night through to Wednesday night, he's walked through all weathers for prostate cancer. Good luck to David in his fundraising as well, and well done to him. Congratulations. If you want to find out a bit more, then as I said, he's on the Forest Green Rovers forum and also on Instagram at Forest Green Rover. If you look at Forest Green Rover on Instagram, you'll find out more details about what he's getting up to, and I think he's hoping to join John tomorrow morning as well to maybe reflect on his score prediction of 2-1. Who knows what's coming in the second half. Full match commentary here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers at 1 at the break. Now then, Steve Borthwick named his side to play Scotland for the Calcutta Cup at Murrayfield on Saturday yesterday. 2 changes to the starting 15, which beat Wales in the opening round. Mario Itoje and Luke Cowan-Dickey coming into the sides. Elsewhere, Finn Smith included among the replacements on the bench as well. The head coach, Steve Borthwick, has been talking through the possibilities and the challenges of taking on Scotland at Murrayfield.
Scotland are a top quality side, and it's as you would expect me to with that Lions tour last year and chat to our players about any of their players involved and their coaches involved. Our players speak incredibly highly of them. They're so talented, their players. You look at that back line and you start saying it's almost a Lions backline, if you like, from that tour last year with Finn Russell and Sione and Hugh Jones and Darcy Graham and Blair Kinghorn and Duhan van der Merwe. That's an incredible backline, isn't it? And you look at the way they can attack, which is when they choose to move the ball, when they choose to play that phase attack game, it's so dangerous. You look at the way Glasgow have been playing, how exciting that is. That's it, if they choose to play that way. And I think it's going to be one of the interesting factors early in the game. Are they going to choose to play that way? Are they going to take to a kicking game? Clearly against Italy, they took to a highly contestable kicking game. In that weather, you can understand it. Allianz Stadium last year, they took to a kicking arm wrestle game. When they chose to move the ball, they do a lot of damage. So I know if they bring that phase game, that our defence has to be perfect against them.
That's to come on Saturday as part of the Six Nations, and we've got a full match commentary 8-hour match day for you here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire, with early kickoffs for Gloucester Hartpury and also for Cheltenham Town. Then we've got Forest Green Rovers in action in the evening as well. Gloucester Rugby in the afternoon. It's a busy one coming this Saturday. But what sort of mood will Forest Green Rovers will be in? At half-time at Rochdale, the National League leaders, it's Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Carl McAllister's equaliser in the 43rd minute. Just settling a few nerves maybe at half-time. Let's rejoin your commentary team at Spotland of Ruben Coley and Billy Hunt.
What perfect timing, Steve, as they just get the second half underway. Savage having a little smile with us. Just a second off Ruben, giving the big thumbs up, and I think he's ready to be happy with his first half performance as the Rochdale kick-off routine's poor and goes straight off for a throw-in for Forest Green. Happy, I think, Robbie Savage is.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, you concede an early goal, you bounce back just before half-time, then you have all that momentum as well. Yeah, why wouldn't you be happy?
Forest Green's 11 is his eye stood in goal, the back four of Ahmed, Mendy, Kirkhoff and Morrison. Wokel and Campbell, two holding midfielders. The attacking midfielders, McAllister, the goal scorer, Horton, Jilibiabu and Ricardo Rees up front. Kirkhoff plays the ball back to his keeper, Eisted. The rain, by the way, still coming down. You call it heavy?
No,
consistent?
It's annoying.
Oh yeah, all rain's that. No change at half-time. The only change he could have said is potentially Morrison getting dragged off as he throws the ball back to Kirkhoff. Well, of course, a handball then as Kirkhoff tried to control the bouncing ball.
I think taking Morrison off would have just done more damage than it would have done any good. So I think he's made the right choice leaving him on.
The bench for Forest Green, Fakapego, sub-keeper, Kengley, Knowles, Clark, Bunker, Pemberton and Christian Deutsch. As Rochdale can't find one of their own teammates, and McAllister wins the ball back. Mendy takes a touch towards the Rochdale players, but does well to pass them around them. Forest Green in the pink and black, poor distribution of Meister gives the ball back to Rochdale midway in the Forest Green half. Going down the left to Rochdale. Ahmed sees the ball played around him, rushes out for a goal kick. Good defending. They had previous half for 2 minutes into a half in the first half of that. That's when Morrison tried to usher the ball out for a goal kick. Got dispossessed and Rochdale scored. Better that from Ahmed.
Yeah, using his physicality. He had a really good first half. He'll be hoping to carry that into this second half.
There we go. Forest can get the ball away. Win the ball back through Biabu to Morrison down the left. He gets dispossessed quite cheaply, does Biabu. Woku scrambling, trying to win a tackle, gives away a foul. Probably the right thing to do actually after Biabu gave the ball away and Forest go on the back foot. So I've got to say the body language there from Forest Green after Biabu gave the ball away. There's a bit of frustration there. You can see they were annoyed and had to trap back and defend.
Yeah, again, Savage not happy with Biabu. I'm not sure what's going on with those two. Maybe you just expect so much more from Biabu. He's a really good player, and maybe in his manager's eyes not delivering to his full potential in this game.
Free kick to Rochdale, bit further up, further back away from goal when the Horton one was just before half time. Over it is Perry and Berger. Four-man wall of Forest Green, quite a high line as well, about 33 yards away from goal. It's a cross into the area, and the first header won by Rochdale. Forest Green don't deal with it though, and Rochdale get the ball back to Perry at the edge of the box. Played it further towards goal. Forest Green back in numbers, but Rochdale comfortable possession with Rodney on the right. Goes past Morrison, so he's off for a corner, does Morrison. Yeah, Forest Green did they put a chance to clear their lines potentially. Rochdale, the first corner in the second half, in front of the local home contingent. Forest Green every man back. Rochdale had the height advantage. Corner swung in towards the far post. Forest Green deal with it with the first header, but with every man back, Rochdale have another chance. McAllister charging down the keeper, who plays it very long into the night sky. Mendy being tested here, wins the header. Camp wins the second ball as well, but Rochdale get the ball back, and Mendy wins the ball and a foul. There could have been an advantage then because Ricardo Rees had the ball at the edge of the area, under the centre circle.
Yeah, the referee had his back towards the action though. He could only give what he saw. It wasn't to know that there was that advantage. Now whether that's poor positioning, it's not up for me to say, but just being fair to him, he was only looking in one direction.
Watmuth in the goalkeeper for Rochdale. There goes the start 11, which hasn't changed in the second half. Gordon, Ebex, Lendl and Perry, Adebayo, Rowling, East Gilmore, Berger, Moss, the two strikers of Rodney, Disarave. Rees, the end of a long ball, can't get onto it, goes off for a goal kick instead. Forest Green in their pink and black away kit, Rochdale in all blue home kit. That's the Rochdale fans you can hear chanting behind Harry Eisted. The Forest Green fans on the edge of the pitch, the far side where we're sat. I reckon about 100 of them. As Kirkhoff again commits himself, doesn't win the ball, and it creates gaps going forward as Eisted comes on forward and takes the ball away from him. Mendy went safety first there. It would have been Eisted, so just see a bit of lack of communication as Mendy saw the ball off for a Rochdale throw.
I don't mind that.
Thank you. as Kirkhoff manages to clear.
I was waiting for any attacking.
Oh yeah, thankfully there wasn't.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I don't mind
if in
that
doubt,
Mendy.
get it out.
Absolutely, because if there's a bit of a communication mix-up and then it results in a goal, that will just be so frustrating for Forest Green. Mendy just, whether he didn't hear the shout or just thought he could just get it clear, I think he took the right course of action.
Amongst those Forest Green fans is David Fowles, who you would have heard from at half-time, who walked from York to Rochdale, raising money for Prostate Cancer UK. You can find his link on his Twitter handle, no, sorry, it's Instagram handle of Forest Green Rover. Last we heard, raised £651. Not the best conditions for his walk, not the best conditions today at SBRB. Can't get into that long through ball to him. Rochdale come down the right hand side. The Arby tracking back well there in front of his gaffer. I think he's going to have maybe his work rate might improve a bit in the second half because he's running up and down the flank of Robbie Savage.
Yeah, you can't really hide there, can you?
Kirkhoff can't deal with that ball over the top. Rodney gets there first, goes towards goal, plays it across the area, and Mendy calmly finishes. That was inches away, Ruben.
Yeah, I think Kirkhoff's got away with one there. Just wasn't strong enough in his defence of Rodney. And to be fair, Rodney is a handful for anybody, but you just need to be a bit more decisive, get your body in front and deal with it. He allowed him to go inside of him.
Mendy takes the ball past Disarave, got across the halfway line, finds Rees, flicks it to Horton, finds McAllister on the right hand side. Harvey Bunker's been warmed up. I'm surprised it could be for Kirkhoff, you know. McAllister to Woku. Gives the ball away to Cam. Can't find Campbell, and Rochdale calmly going to the Forest Green half. The Forest Green bench of Pagel, the sub-goalkeeper, Kengley, Knowles, Clark, Bunker, Pemberton and Deutsch. Carnu was ill this morning, was going to start, but unable to play today. So Bunker's the only real defensive option. Forest Forest Green again, give the ball away quite cheaply on the Rochdale right. Abu comes away with it, wins himself a free kick. Gordon taking him down, of course, got a chance to reset. Savage again wanting the advantage. Talking to the fourth official. Is that the same fourth official? I think it might have changed.
No, it's a different one.
Oh, the fifth official's turned up. Yeah, the linesman became the fourth official in the first half, and someone else has popped up in the second half. Maybe the linesman needs some treatment as the offside flag goes up against Viabu. A free plays advantage though. Yeah, thankfully there must have been someone else qualified to run that fourth official's ball. Kirkhoff slips and Rochdale make the most of it, going down the right. Ball into the box is blocked by Morrison for Rochdale corner. Nothing Kirkhoff could do about that, actually.
No, that's the first time though that we've seen the pitch become an issue for a player. Just losing his footing on the slippery surface to the Forest Green man. And now they have to deal with this corner.
The new officials is ready to make a change. It does look to be like the number 25 of Gabe Kirkhoff. Tricky for the young lad. Impressed against York and against Woking. But going to be dragged off here after this corner. Played towards the far post. It's wicked as Eisted was beaten and the ball across the line there. It doesn't. Half course to do so as Eisted was beat before a screen scrambled the ball away. And that was a big call from the assistant referee.
It looked like it could have potentially been an own goal if it had crossed the line.
Well, it's big ifs, but referee says no goal line technology here. Ricardo Rees at the edge of the box. Finds Horton. Gets the ball taken off him, and that's a bit of a late challenge. And Horton's got himself a free kick 5 yards off from the top of the area. And the first yellow card given against the Rochdale player, who was Ruben?
Harvey Gilmore, number 8.
Not too happy, Gilmore. As Forest Green make that change, and Kirkhoff being dragged off for Harvey Bunker. Let's see the reaction from Savage. See how supportive he'll be from the young Welshman.
I think dragged off's a bit harsh.
I don't know, because he's had errors. Like, when you take a centre-back off for another centre-back, what would you call it? It's not a tactical change.
Yeah.
It's a like for like. You don't want to make a defensive change at the back.
Yeah, I get your point, but he hasn't done anything disastrous.
No, he's committed himself a few times and in dangerous positions and not won the ball. Talking of dangerous positions, here's a free kick to Forest Green. Horton over it, as is Carl McAllister. Again, a 4-man wall, 30 yards out. It's going to be Horton again. Places his shot into the wall. It goes back to McAllister. Tubiaba on the right. Armo puts the ball in. Woku turns past one on the edge of the area. Puts the ball across goal. Takes a few ricochets and goes to the hands of the Rochdale keeper. That time Horton trying to get the ball over the wall. Just went straight into it. Still, Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. 56 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire as Rochdale play the ball down the right-hand side. The Abado rolling. Get there he can't until it goes off for a goal kick. And Morrison shoved Abado rolling off the pitch. Yeah, it should have been a free kick, I think.
Yeah, a bit unnecessary, actually. A bit unnecessary.
He didn't need to do it.
He could have gone straight into the advertising hoardings, but Adebayo Rowling's back on his feet. Has no ill feelings towards Morrison, which is good. Players all right.
Again,
the crowd didn't like it.
Didn't need to do it,
no,
did Morrison? Did not need to do it.
Got away with it, though.
Yes, he did.
Not that that's a...
McAllister with a decent flick on, but can't find Ricardo Rees because Watmouth has to go a long way out of this area to clear.
Well, one thing I have noticed is that Kirkhoff has just gone right below us into the tunnel.
Looking despondent?
Yeah, I think that's a good word for it. So maybe harbouring a little bit of a knock, maybe, or just Robbie Savage telling him to go get a shower. There's no point sitting on the bench getting cold.
McAllister plays it up the right, but it's blocked from Rochdale. And Wendy picks up the loose ball on the halfway line. To Morris on the left. 2 players on him, gets sandwiched out. Ammon's on a free kick, and the Rochdale faithful don't like that too much.
It's clever for Morrison.
He went, yeah,
He's
he
clever.
drew it. He
Yeah.
tried to thread the needle, didn't he? Of
He did.
going through 2 Rochdale players. They sandwiched him and he fell over.
He's given his team an opportunity now. Another set piece. Nick Horton stood over it as the lone player.
He's a good player, Horton, but it's 50 yards away from goal as free kick.
McAllister now joins him.
No real aerial options of Forest Green today. Look, no Ryan Innes. Babylona not involved at all today. Christian Deutsch on the bench. Bunker's up there now, and Mendy.
I think Tate Campbell's the tallest player.
Flicked into the box. Control with a hand of Nwoko.
It's quite obvious, that one. Unfortunately for the young man.
I wouldn't say it's Thierry Henry-esque. However, and I know as a while ago, absolutely no different to the Ricardo Rees second yellow card at Sutton a month or so ago. And where he got a yellow card and subsequently sent off for that. Accidental, but not a yellow. But it's good, that's good. That's the right decision, was not to get the yellow card today. Rochdale on the right. Thread the ball through. Well read by Mendy. Mawson comes on forward. Got options to his right. Runs into traffic and plays back to Mendy. He's being pressed and he takes the ball around east.
Just refusing to pass it though, isn't he?
He backs himself as Mendy. And Rochdale turning a heavy press on. He's got to clear it. Just clear it, Forest Green. Finds Campbell. Gets pulled back and wins up a free kick. And hey, look, Robbie Savage really enjoyed that. If he can draw enough players in with the press and pass them around him, great.
Yeah, but then there's an obvious pass as well. And on a pitch like this, doing those turns as you're the last man with the ball at your feet can't always go your way. And there were 2 or 3 occasions where there was a simple pass forward. And he's got away with it, but I'm not convinced by that.
Mendy plays the ball forward, get the ball away from danger. And Rochdale defence has it with themselves now. Just feeling the atmosphere building up a bit. Hour mark's come and gone, 60 minutes and a half. Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1 here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. We'll have a little sweep of those International League scores shortly. Mendy can't win the ball convincingly, and Rochdale go down the right hand side. Roller rolling, edge of the box, clip the ball into 6-yard area. Bunker gets a touch, not the most convincing one though, and Gordon puts a area ball into the area. Forest Green don't deal with. Ahmed putting a challenge in. Half course for a penalty.
That was a bit clumsy from both players. They both jumped for the ball and got absolutely nowhere near it and just kind of collided with each other. And the Rochdale player is back on his feet as Forest Green press forward.
With Horton to the right of McAllister. Decent chances for Forest Green, but McAllister can't find Ahmed in the area, and Rochdale clear and win themselves a throw. Yeah, there's a strange ball into the box, isn't it, the penalty shout. Gordon just hoofed it in. It stayed in the air for ages.
Yeah, it was a horrible ball to deal with at the back post, but deal with it, and they did.
Throw for Rochdale. Yeah, they scored elsewhere in the National League, Ruben.
Yeah, Boreham Wood have turned it around against Yeovil. They are now 2-1 up. Brunt with both goals for Boreham Wood. Sutton are down to 10 men and are now a goal down as well against Braintree. And York Hartlepool is now 1 apiece.
Morrison to Biabra on the left-hand side. Looks for options in the box. Tries to go himself. Licks it to Woku. Poor ball to Morrison. He does well to recover and get there. Woku back to Mendy. Forest Green committing so many men forward. Mendy gets the ball back. Flicks the ball over the top. Can't find a player in the pink and black of Forest Green, and Forest Green got to be careful here because they committed so many men forward, and Rochdale seem to make the most of it. So Disuave, Bunker falls to the floor. Forest Green get a touch away. This is a hoof it clear, and Morrison does just that. And Forest Green actually, got to say, did well to recover there.
Yeah, Bunker goes down, and you think it could all go pear-shaped, but then it's Laurent Mendy, the captain, comes storming in, does really well, gets a strong foot in, and Forest Green can clear the ball. But when Rochdale have the ball, and when it's with Devante Rodney, you do just fear the worst at times.
You do. But
he was one-on-one with Bunker.
Yeah, and Bunker fell in the conditions.
Yeah, he was backtracking, just lost his footing, and that could have gone very differently.
But they committed so many players, didn't they, Forest Green? We're talking about it when they're attacking, how many players going forward, and of course that means less players back. 63 minutes gone. Rochdale 1, Forest Green Rovers 1. Entertaining game here. The rain continues to fall. We know a few players have slipped over, but considering the conditions, there's still absolutely no standing water. Rochdale go back to the keeper, Watmuth, who goes long, probably a bit too long. Bunker deals with it easily, goes back to Isted. Yeah, around the hour mark, intentionally think about making changes. Forest Green have brought on Bunker for Kirkcroft. In the defensive role, Mendy takes a touch too many and goes back to Isted. It's always nerves.
That's what I'm saying. It can get really dangerous really quickly when things like that happen.
Forest Green get dispossessed and the ball's restricted to slow in the area. Goes past Isted and scores! Out of nowhere, Forest Green leaves the Solave unmarked in the penalty area. Do not give him that much space because he easily found the back of the net. It's Rochdale 2, Forest Green 1.
Well, that just seemed to be so simple for Rochdale. Just a ball from the outside of the boot, played into the penalty area. Not sure where on earth the Forest Green defence was for that. Non-existent. Rodney takes a touch. He opens up his body. He's only got one thing on his mind, and that is shooting to the far corner. Harry Isted goes down a little bit early, and Rodney just curls it into the far corner and sends the home fans going pandemonium, really, and it's now 2-1.
A lot went wrong.
Yeah.
I assume it was Arme on the far side, gave the ball away. The ball came into the box, and there was the big number 9, the danger man, just completely unmarked. He couldn't believe his luck, how unmarked he was in the area. He just always thank you very much. But yes, I guess the turnover was quick. You've got to keep an eye on him because he was just completely unmarked.
Yeah.
Completely unmarked. And again, Forest Green were at fault, you've got to say. I know there's always errors that lead up to a goal. Forest Green, it just suddenly resorted to route 1 and played it over the top and goes into the path of the Rochdale keeper. But self-implosion. Yeah,
so disappointing.
And Morrison again tested with the long ball. We saw his naivety in the first half with that. Bayer rolling, gets there first. Another ball into the box, so it can't be found, and the scuff clearance goes to Istet's hands, he can't get onto it. Forest Green desperately trying to scramble, clears the goal, must scramble, balls ricocheting all over the place, gets again, the ball goes down. Forest Green looking to clear, and eventually the ball's played away from goal. How on earth I didn't hit the back of the net, I do not know, but Rochdale still in possession. Tackles were flying in there, half course were handballs, impossible to see anything.
Yes, desperate defending but effective. Forest Green keep it out by any means necessary. Rochdale now sensing that they are on the front foot, they've got the momentum.
Yeah, they do. You've got to say it, Forest Green give the ball away quite cheaply again, and Woku runs into traffic and needs to find an option for himself a free kick. And that'll be good for Forest Green because they just need to reset and have a breather because Rochdale had a really good period for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, now Forest Green have a chance to breathe. The young man, Woku, is down on the ground, just being helped to his feet by Harvey Bunker, just holding his face. It's the Forest Green man.
But how on earth is that? You've got to say, great defending.
Yeah, bodies on the line is really brave defending as well. I think it was 3 goal line clearances from Forest Green and 3 golden opportunities for Rochdale to go 3-1 up.
Ricardo Rees again can't get the end of the long ball. It's overhit to him. Would you say Rees is looking isolated a bit today?
100%. Haven't seen much from Ricardo Rees since he had that really good effort in the first half. Since then, he's not really had any sort of supply.
Bunker manages to just about get the ball off to Solave, but Rochdale get the ball back. He's causing problems to Solave. For the Forest Green defence, and Rochdale have the ball on the left-hand side edge of the area. Solave again in the box. Forest Green put numbers back. Solave scored 2 already. There'll be pretty short odds on him getting a third. As Forest Green win themselves a free kick. Ahmed taken down late by Rodney. No need to panic just yet from Forest Green. There's 68 minutes gone. They're trailing by 2 goals to 1. You can hear the Rochdale fans in full voice. Retaking the lead after Palmer comes to Drew Forest Green level. We'll talk about subs, Ruben. Christian Deutsch and Clark, I guess, are the attacking ones on the bench for Forest Green. maybe Deutsch for Reese.
Yeah, possibly. I think it maybe calls upon someone of his experience to enter the game and his physicality.
Unfortunately, Forest Green, even though they're training, they've got to defend. They've got the ball now. Going forward, Biabu keeps the ball on one at the top end of the pitch. Got 2 players on him. Fights the ball back to Campbell. 2 bunkers created an option to Mendy. Campbell taken down in the middle of the Rochdale half, takes the free kick quickly. Double change coming shortly from Rochdale. McAllister to the right finds Ahmed with another ball into the box, wins off the corner. We'll watch them make those double changes now. I don't think they won't. Changing on the bench for Forest Green, Kengley, I think it might be, coming on. Savage screaming him to hurry up and get back. Interesting who that could be for. Biardo? Morrison? Corner for Forest Green. Just about to be taken. Referee stops play, a bit of pushing and shoving in the box. Mendy having a chat with the referee alongside Dan Moss, Rochdale 22. Clark is going to be coming on also for Forest Green. Corner to be taken this time. Forest Green players are well spread across the penalty area. Launched towards the near post. Keeper punches clear. Back to Roku, who can't head the ball down convincingly, and Rochdale clear up the field. Let every man back, so they have a chance to Forest Green to play on forward. McAllister in his own half. Flips it forward. Biabu's offside. And here comes those changes. The new 4th official has got his work cut out. 4 changes to remain. The first is for Rochdale. Sees Rodney come off for Pritchard. Also coming on for Rochdale is Barlow. He's replacing Jake Berger. And 2 changes coming for Forest Green. Both Kengley and Clark, the players, coming on. The 4th official again fiddling with his board. Yet to see anyone coming off just yet. It's Elijah Morrison coming off for Kengley. That's a like for like. Morrison got to stay at front at fault for the first goal for us, you can see. They're under a bit of pressure throughout the second half, and Adelio rolling. And this second change of Forest Green sees Clark come on for Nick Horton. Nick Horton, I might have a bit of a quieter second half.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
But interesting to see, he's got, I guess, McAllister will go in the number 10 role and Clark go on the right. Forest Green have made 3 changes.
I mean, whichever way you look at it, you just need to give Ricardo Rees more service.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been isolated. I guess maybe we'll see a Deutsch-Rees partnership as Forest Green half deal with the area ball, but it's fallen to Barlow, fresh off the bench. Plays to the left-hand side. Back to Perry. They're looking quite comfortable again, Rochdale. Like they were in the majority of the first half, you have to say, but Forest Green managed to draw level just before half-time. Kengley gets beat. Rochdale play the ball into the area, ball across 6-yard box. I said watching it well into his hands. Again, another warning shot.
Yeah, Kengley got lucky there. Went in for a big swing and a miss, just taking air. And then Rochdale very quickly into the penalty area, ball into the 6-yard box, watched well by Harry Eisted, diving out to meet it. Safe pair of hands. Forest Green looking to build forward now from the back with the ball from bunker out on the right channel.
Scores elsewhere in the National League, Ruben.
In the National League, Boreham Wood 2, Yeovil 2. Yeovil have had a player sent off and then equalised. Braintree 1-0 up against Sutton, and that is as it stands.
Rochdale 2, Forest Green Rovers 1 here, 73 minutes gone. Forest Green level at half-time. Disarray with his team second, but another poor ball through for Forest Green. Can't find anyone, and Rochdale come away with it. Just one with the second half, 64 minutes. Forest Green win the ball back though, in their own half, back to Bunker. To Woku. Needs out options. Biabu's on the left, Reese is on the right hand side. Finds Ahmed. Back to Woku. The rain's almost stopped, Ruben.
Yeah, it's kind of turned into a fine mist. Very hard to see, but it's still hanging around for now.
Mendy. Back to Bunker. No options. A bit static in front of them now. Kenley wants it on the left-hand side. It's overhit though. Goes off for a throw. Good kick to touch. Goes off by the corner flag.
15 minutes after the final whistle this evening.
Forest Green trying to cap Rochdale in their own half. Yeah, 16 minutes of normal time to go. It's not time to chuck the kitchen sink forward. Doige is there, isn't he? Don't know where on the bench. I don't know at what point you'd bring him on.
Yeah, he must be thinking, what do I have to do to get on the pitch in this game?
Do you take off Ricardo Reese or do you put him alongside him?
I think you've got to go alongside. Because I think if you do a like-for-like swap, then the problem you're going to have is Doige isn't going to get the service. And it'll be an almost useless substitution. You need someone to play alongside, so you have two men to aim at. You can play forward off that, have one of them hold the ball up and have another one running in behind. Just a little bit of a partnership and an opportunity to go forward. I feel sorry for Reese at the moment.
Yeah, Kenley puts the ball forward to him and it's nowhere near him. He's working hard.
He's working so hard. He's covering the miles.
Rochdale not on the ball with Gilmore. Looking to go down their right. Adebayo Road and can't be found. And Forest Green go up the left-hand side. There'll be Arbu. Pressurised with another free kick. Kieran Gordon, the perpetrator. Good work there from Biabu. The best of the outcome's probably the free kick because he was being pressured and forced away towards the edge of the pitch.
Yeah, I think Biabu's hurt himself a little bit. He keeled over just holding his midriff. Not sure if he fell on the boot of Gordon. He made the challenge. He wanted something a little bit more than a free kick, didn't he? I think he was kind of asking the question, why was there no card produced?
Yeah, he kept his card in his pocket for the majority of Mr. Reid. Only the one yellow card for the Rochdale player. Free kick to Forest Green on the left-hand side of the pitch. Clark and McAllister over it. Clark takes it towards the far post. Decent one. Falling back to Ahmed. To Woku. To Ahmed on the right. Flips the ball into the area. Charge down and Rochdale half clear. The shot goes aerial from Woku. Off for a goal kick over the goal over the terrace.
Now be on the main road.
Yes, that's a card swerving past that.
But it's positive that he's thought about having the shot. There haven't been many in the second half for Forest Green, just a lot of passing around the penalty area, trying to put balls into the box, but no one really taking ownership and having a strike at goal.
Triple substitution for Rochdale. Henderson, Hosanna and Petit all coming on. It gives Ruben a chance to give an update in the Premier League. There's been a late goal at Villa Park.
Yeah, and it's gone the way of Aston Villa, credited as a Hinchelwood own goal on 86 minutes. They're into the fourth additional minute there at Villa Park. And Manchester City has just finished full time at the Etihad, 3-0 to Manchester City. Semenyo, O'Reilly and Haaland.
The Suave's coming off for Henderson. No hat-trick for him today, but brings on Henderson. We'll confirm all those changes shortly. Good news that for Forest Green defender Suave's comes on, but being on in Henderson still provides a threat. Clark can't control the ball convincingly and Rochdale come away with it, and Savage not too happy with that. Bunker pushes away Henderson and half maintains possession. Again he slips Bunker. I'm not sure he needs to change his boots. Looking to clear forward, does just that. Forest Green's passing around the back now. Ian Henderson, the 41-year-old, on for Rochdale. Let's hope for us, Ruben.
No, not for me, mate. I've packed it in. Although I do still carry my football boots in my car.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case I get the call up. In case Robbie Savage wants an extra option on the bench.
There's a long serve server is in Henderson. Bunker gets the ball away from him to find Mendy. 79 minutes gone. Rochdale 2, Forest Green Rovers 1. Savage must be thinking about going to the bench shortly. Do feel sorry for Doyle. He only sometimes gets utilised when Forest going to chase it again. Decent header from Rochdale to find Barlow, drives towards goal, blocked by Bunker and Kengley clears. The only out option is Reese, who gives away a free kick. And Savage got happy with that. Yeah, he's looking a bit lonely still as Reese. Savage frustrating with the referee there. I didn't see too much wrong with the foul. I just think he left a bit of something in.
I think he's less happy with his defensive line. He's not been afraid to hold back with his instructions on the pitch.
Bunker, who's in that defensive line, replacing Kirkhoff in the second half. Finds Mendy, back to Bunker. To Ahmed on the right. Finds McAllister. Turns past one man. Back to Clark in the middle. But Rochdale now got 11 men behind the ball. They are quick to get back at Rochdale. Well drilled. Giuliano with an audacious ball across goal, and it goes off for Forest Green Rovers corner, headed away from Dan Moss. Bit of a hopeful ball to there, but Reese was beat. And Rochdale didn't really do that. As far as we take this corner.
Now Dan Moss not taking any chances on anyone running in behind him on the overlap, dealing with it, conceding a corner in the process. And again, Bunker may be the only tall man in the box.
Yeah, Mendy's there as well. Yet to score as Mendy. Good time to do so now. For Forest Green this season. Played into 6-yard area. Header goes wide of the goal. McAllister picks up the loose ball on the left-hand side. Finds Biabu. Puts the thinking of putting a ball into the box. Goes back to McAllister, who's blocked, but the ball goes in there. The header goes Bunker. Forced to save for the keeper for another corner. Decent from Bunker with a free header.
Yeah, really good header from Harvey Bunker, and I think the goalkeeper Watmouth was just a little bit slow to react to that. Made it look more dangerous than it probably was, but had to push it away.
It was about 7-8 yards out, and it wasn't the most powerful of headers. Headed to the floor, went for placement. Another corner for Forest Green. McAllister to the left towards the near post. Dealt with on the Rochdale defence. Hoofed clear. And Forest Green couldn't even challenge the first ball as it's bouncing around, and Mendy heads the ball back to Kengley, who plays the ball forward, and everyone's out of position. Rochdale go forward, looking for Henderson. Biabu's the last man back and half wins the header.
They're just not comfortable when the ball's up in the air, are they, Forest Green, when it's coming towards them?
But they need a Ryan Innes, they need a Jordan Mortay. They're both injured.
Yeah.
To just shore things up. You've got to say, when the ball goes into the night sky and Giuliano's the player back there against the experienced end Henderson.
It's a bit heart-and-mouth moment, isn't it?
But Forest Green have possession. They're trailing by 2-1 though. Reese really far back to get onto the ball. He finds Clark. Reese continues his run. Clark the edge of the area, goes past one challenge. Edge of the D, places his shot. Takes a ricochet and goes into the keeper's hands. And Biabu left a bit behind then onto the keeper, who's rolling around a bit. The referee eventually gives a free kick. I didn't see what happened there.
So I think Kyron Gordon is protesting, doing an imitation of a stamp on the keeper. It was completely unnecessary, whatever happened, because Watmouth actually did really well to hold the ball.
Well, I'm not sure the referee saw that. He blew up really late, unless the assistant or the fourth official saw that. The keeper's needs treatment, of course he does. That ekes away a few more seconds. Giuliano's going to have a talking to here.
But the Rochdale players not happy at all.
But Biabu didn't need to do anything.
No,
he
absolutely not. The keeper had the ball in his hands. There's no way you can get the ball out of his hands.
He's going to get a yellow card there, as Giuliano.
It's unnecessary.
And it just ekes down more time, because Watmouth's obviously going to try and get every second he can. The physio's not on the pitch yet, despite being called on. And even the physio's taking his time to come into the box. You can see he's got a slow trot to it. Hopefully the referee will add time onto it. I'm not sure where he got stamped onto. Silly from Tinabiabu. 2,646 the attendance today. No breakdown as for the Forest Green fans. I reckon 100.
Yeah, maybe. I'll agree with you because I have absolutely no idea.
Just so they're getting the man of the match.
Deserved, I think. With
his 2 goals. Both teams will take on some fluids. Doyle's warming up for Forest Green. Sure will be called upon shortly.
Well, there's been another goal in the National League. York have retaken the lead against Hartlepool. It's 2-1 there. Boateng on 84 minutes.
Yeah, Bournemouth still 2 apiece. Like the confirmation of 76 Forest Green Rovers fans. Fair play to all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Midweek, horrible conditions.
They've made the long journey. You said David Fowles walking from York to Rochdale, raising money for Prostate Cancer UK. Find his fundraising page on his Instagram at Forest Green Rover.
The keeper's fine, by the way, back on his feet.
Of course he is.
Yeah,
no doubt about that. So play restarts. Eventually, the keeper with this free kick, taking his time to do so. We've got 5 minutes of normal time to go. I hope the referee will add all the time on. Probably about 10 minutes or so of football. This kick goes straight off for a throw-in. Kengley takes it quickly back to Mendy. Savage in talk with his backroom staff. I think someone needs to go alongside Ricardo Reese. Ahmed brushes up a couple of challenges, runs into traffic though and gets dispossessed.
That's another player that Rochdale have nullified in this second half. Ahmed, really outstanding first half. Just hasn't had too much opportunity in the second. Probably
maybe one of the errors was from Ahmed in the lead up to the second goal for Rochdale. Just giving the ball away on the Forest Green right, and the ball's played into completely unmarked Suave. Mendy crosses the halfway line. Kengley is found down the left, being well marshalled by Barlow. Needs support, might try himself a corner, plays the ball into the area, but it's cleared from the Rochdale defence. Back to Bunker, moving on the Forest Green bench.
Yeah, I don't want to give you any hope, but I think I've just seen a certain Christian Doidge removing his coat.
Mendy back to Bunker. To McAllister on the right. Mendy found on the halfway line. Knowles also there as well. He's an attacking option. Biabu's on the ball now, gets the booze. Bunker shows too much of the board as well to take it past Henderson. Rochdale, well drilled defensively. 11 men behind the ball. Clark found in the middle. They've got nowhere to go at the moment, Forest Green. Mendy to Clark again. Forward he goes. Finds Campbell. To the right of McAllister. Doyle's ready to come on. To Clark. Near to the area. Forced away from the penalty box. Ahmed on the right hand side. Look at, there's not many pink players in the area. And Forest Green win the ball back through McAllister. Goes towards goal in the area. Plays it wide to Ahmed. To Campbell. Thinks about shooting. Puts the ball into the area instead. Kengley finds Biard on the left. The boost continue. Looks to find Kengley and he wins himself a corner. Good work from Forest Green.
Yeah, but again, on the edge of the box, was it Campbell had a lot of time and space and the freedom to shoot on his favoured right foot, and decides to put a bit of a powerful ball towards the penalty spot.
We're close to seeing the fourth official's board with time added on. We've got 2 minutes of normal time to go. There might be changes shortly for Forest Green. McAllister with the corner. Bunker with the header, but doesn't go towards goal. Back to Kengley. To Woku. Backing off him a bit. Ahmed's fine on the right hand side. First of all on the floor. Easily dealt with in the Rochdale defence. Get up is the call from the Rochdale fans, but they're sitting deep at the moment, inviting more pressure. Woku back to Clark, even another unsearchable into the box, can't find Reese. They're quite easily dealt with these balls into the area. McAllister gets dispossessed and Rochdale looks come on forward, but Harvey Bunker wins the ball back, and there's a free kick given against him for something. But Sox play allowing a double change of Forest Green. Doyd and Pemberton come in on. Ahmed coming off for Pemberton. That's a light for light on the right hand side. Let's see who Christian Doyd is going to be coming on for. It's the four officials fiddling with his board now.
Number 9, Christian Doyd.
It's Jilibi Abu who gets the booze from the
sensible
fans. Yeah.
Sensible substitution from
wound up.
Robbie Savage. Yeah, and now it means that Forest Green have 2 attacking players and a good partnership between Doige and Reese.
Let's see what the 2 Welsh boys can do up front.
Admittedly, they haven't been given a lot of time, but if anyone can pull Forest Green out of the fire, it is that man number 9, Christian Doige.
In the last 30 seconds of normal time, Forest Green trailing by 2 goals to 1. Mendy half clears. Woke heads the ball back to Bunker, didn't want it there, and he got a late challenge onto him. It goes to the hands of Eisted. Referee's letting him not go today, you have to say. There's a bit of a late challenge on Bunker. Forest Green go on the right hand side. Rochdale put men back, and Forest Green's pass it along to the defence. Bunker to Mendy on the left. 6 minutes of time added on. There's hope. Forest Green need a goal back to draw level.
Fourth official has indicated a minimum
Bunker
of 6
goes
minutes
long,
added time.
looking for Doige, who was winning the flick on, but he can't find Ricardo Reese. But again, just thought that was an option for Forest Green there, really.
Yeah, and Doige wins the header as well. And technically, is that a shot on goal?
I think he was looking for the flick on more than anything, but it was an option there. Forest Green have a throw in their own half, headed away by Hosanna. I think Ricardo Reese is better with 2 in a strike duo. He's going to have 6 minutes to try and do something with it. Kengley on the left-hand side wins himself a throw deep in the Rochdale half, only a yard or so up from the corner flag. They need to take it quickly, Forest Green. They do so. Back to Campbell. Look how quick the Rochdale defence come out. Bunker to Woku. Ball to McAllister. So congested there. Searching ball into the area. Easily into the hands of Watmer, who thinks about going long, but just holds on to it instead. Referee counted down the seconds. Clark charging down the ball up for a Rochdale throw. Time's ticking away. Forest might have one last chance, but Rochdale looking pretty comfortable with their 2-1 advantage. Throughout the line, dealt with by Mendy, back to Clark. To Pemberton. We hope it's going to be one last chance for Forest Green. Trailing by 2 goals to 1. Ricardo Reese on the far right hand side, got Doige in the middle. Runs into traffic and gets dispossessed, quite cheaply, I have to say. Forest win the ball back though, through Reese, so did well to make up for his mistake. Woku to McAllister in the area, shows off a challenge, can't find a teammate in the box. A bit of a tame ball in there.
Yeah, it was really good work from Ricardo Reese. Lost the ball cheaply, as you say, and then the work rate to track back and win it back as well cleanly gives Forest Green this opportunity, still possession, but then they go and lose it needlessly.
Watmore clears it, the ball's played back to him. Knew he couldn't pick the ball up for the back pass, and it goes off full-way throw. 2.5 minutes of the added 6 we've had. Throw goes back to Mendy. To Bunker. Comes on the right-hand side. Rochdale are well drilled, aren't they? You've got to say there.
Yeah, they've got good discipline.
They're not allowing Forest Green anywhere. McAllister. Pemberton on the right hand side. Let's go past one challenge down the right. This ball goes off for a goal kick. Good defending there, goal save from Rochdale. Pemberton's going nowhere. And they'll eke out another minute for this goal kick. Normally there's a chance, but Rochdale, they're so strong. Forest not getting anywhere close to goal.
There's been a goal in the Premier League at the Stadium of Light. Liverpool have taken the lead through Virgil van Dijk on 61 minutes. It's 1-0 to Liverpool. Well, that's the only Premier League game still going on.
Thank you very much, Ruben. It's Rochdale 2, Forest Green Rovers 1. They are making out every second, as it's literally going to be a minute. He's taken 40 seconds already. Surely the referee's got to add on time for this. Watmuff goes long. Mendy can't win the ball, but Bunker's there to mop up and find Pemberton. Savage demanding his players forward. Long ball dealt with from the Rochdale defence. Deutsch gets the ball back, goes towards goal. His shot is blocked. Was that the chance? Rochdale gave the ball away cheaply, but they did well to recover.
Yeah, Deutsch did well though to pounce on it. It's the experience he has.
Another ball into the area, dealt with from the Rochdale defence again. They should easily clear. There's no one challenging the first or second ball for Forest Green. They're keeping so many men up at Forest Green. The ball goes off for a goal kick. Now the keeper's got it in his hands now. We've got 9 seconds of the added 6 to go, and that might have been the only chance of Forest Green.
Yeah, it's strange because Rochdale were just allowed to win the first, second, and if they wanted to, the third ball. It just seemed like Forest Green were waiting for it to come to them.
What a kick that was from Watmuff, going huge into the night sky from one end to the other. Goes into Eistead's hands, demanding his team to go forward. He goes long himself. Deutsch challenges for it, but Rochdale win the second ball. Oh, and Campbell gets the ball away cheaply, and Rochdale going forward. They're going towards the corner flag. Campbell wins the ball back for a throw, and you thought that will be it now, Rochdale. Campbell cheaply giving the ball away, and Rochdale can ink down the clock.
Yeah, you can feel the anticipation around the grounds. The fans know they are so close. And this is a massive 3 points if they can just eke out the last 40-odd seconds of this game.
Oh, absolutely, as they're going down by the corner flag and have the ball at the edge of the area. Forest Green just trying to get the ball back, but they're in control there, Rochdale, by the corner flag. With the many times of throw, and you've got to say that's it. They've got 3 points here, Rochdale. And Ruben, a late goal in the Bournemouth Oval game.
Yeah, Boreham Wood have nicked it in injury time. Henry on 92 minutes, 3-2 Boreham Wood.
And that overtakes Bournemouth above Forest Green. Forest Green drop down to 6th as it stands. Seeing how close it is in the table. Travelling to Carlisle, and the full-time whistle goes. And Scunthorpe take all 3 points. Minimal chances of Forest Green towards the end. The referee out of any extra time for the time wasted injury time, you've got to say, would it have really mattered with Forest Green? They drew level towards the end of the first half through Carl McAllister, but they switched off after 64 minutes off Disabarbey, completely unmarked in the Forest Green Rovers penalty box, and the ball's played to him, played him home. After that, Forest Green hadn't had too many clear-cut chances, you have to say. Forest Green tried to brought on Christian Deutsch, maybe a bit too late going alongside Ricardo Rees, but Ruben, chances few and far between Forest Green to take all 3 points, and they're probably their own downfall defensively.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, and it could have been more for Rochdale. Let's not forget the goal line scramble that we had in the second half, where they could have scored 3 times in one chance, but it was desperate defending and effective defending from Forest Green to keep it out of the back of the net. They just didn't have that momentum that they finished the first half with. The second half was so vastly different. Ricardo Rees cut such an isolated figure, and then when you finally give him support to play along, it's in the 89th minute when you bring on Christian Deutsch to play alongside him. But I think disappointing for Forest Green. They reacted well initially after going down, a goal down so early on in the game. They got themselves back into it, a brilliant equaliser by Carl McAllister, but they failed to capitalise on that and take that momentum forward to really push on and get something from the game. And you can see why Rochdale are top of the league. You can see why they're on the points that they're on, and you can absolutely understand the jubilation from the fans. They are loving life right now.
Thank you very much, Ruben. Yeah, who can blame them? They're 4 points clear at the top of the table with many games in hand. Forest Green drop to 6th on 58 points, congested above them. Scunthorpe, Bournemouth, really close. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We'll try and give you reaction from Robbie Savage before 10 o'clock. The total of 12 minutes of added on time in the first and second half might get us a bit closer there. If not, we'll bring you full reaction on the BBC Radio Gloucestershire breakfast show tomorrow morning. Cozy up and listen to us on Valentine's night with the 5:30 kick-off on Saturday. Of course, we'll have another huge game as they host Carlisle. Thank you very much for your company this evening. Disappointed for the result as Forest Green go down with 0 points here at Spotland. Full time, Rochdale 2, Forest Green Rovers 1.
And the problem, fellas, it doesn't get any easier, does it? Carlisle, albeit at home at the weekend. I mean, we always knew that this week was going to be extremely difficult, but so far, played 2, lost 2. They really need to get something out of Saturday.
Yeah, I think yes, look, it'd be great to get something away from Rochdale and York. You look at the table, and you've got a fair play to Robbie Savage. The applause you can hear now is to the Rochdale fans. So they've been well responded is Savage and getting some shakes from him. So it's good that Savage is getting a warm reception here. But, yeah, so looking at top of the table, Rochdale and York, they're running away from it. They're going to be scrapping from top of the table. If you get anything from them, it's going to be tricky. You look at the Carlisle game, that's massive. Carlisle are in and around Forest Green. They're a team that Forest Green want to chase and try and get that 3rd position. Forest Green are 6th at the moment. So the 3 points on Saturday is vital because of taking the points off Carlisle as well, who won last night also. It's getting so close there. Forest Green are out of touch in the top 2. But again, do you look below them now? They're closer to the 8th outside the players than they are top of the table. But with Carlisle, and then let's not forget, they travelled to Bournemouth and won in the last minute the week after, so it doesn't even get any easier after the Carlisle game. It's a really hectic February. But unfortunately, the 2 games they've had against the top 2 teams in the table, they come away with 0 points.
Yeah, and the good news for Rochdale, York City are being held 2-2 at home by Hartlepool at the moment. They're into the 100th minute of that game, so this could be an unbelievable night for Rochdale, which should move them even closer to that title and to automatic promotion.
Well, 4 points clear as it stands in York. The Fort Thomas has not gone there, and 2 games in hand as well. And they go to York, and they played York in the last game of the season. So you look, they're playing superbly. They've got the games in hand. They're winning. The pitch is holding up well. It's all going their way. You can hear the reactions as they come off the pitch as well. Look, it's Rochdale to lose, definitely. Hopefully York and Rochdale will battle each other out and Forest Green to sneak through in the playoffs and get something at Wembley. It's just the fact that Forest Green have again travelled to a team who potentially are going to be in the playoff, if not leading in the table, and come away with nothing. It's what Sammy's talked to about before the game. Lost at Carlisle, lost at York, lost at Rochdale, lost at Scunthorpe, got to travel to Bournemouth in a week and a bit's time. It's tricky for Forest Green because if they keep going around the table, they're going to be playing away from home in the playoffs, and they've not got the best run of form there.
York have just gone 3-2 up in the 105th minute of this game. Unbelievable. Stones has just put them 3-2 up against Hartlepool United. And the other thing that we talked about before the game, and I talked with Robbie yesterday, is individual errors that are being punished. And straight away, 2nd minute of the game, Forest Green Rovers are punished for an individual error.
Yeah, I think there's individual errors both ends. Well, cumulative for the second. The first with Morrison, he was ushering the ball out for a goal kick. He should have cleared it into Rose Z before. Naive gave the ball away. Couple of good passes after that. The Soiree put Rochdale in front. Forest Green did well with McAllister level, but the second goal, not one individual error, a few. Armin giving the ball away on the far side. Rochdale put the ball into the box. The Soiree was just completely unmarked. You just could not believe how much space he had. The defenders were still there. The defenders were still in the box, and they just couldn't have it anywhere near him. He could not believe his luck. So, but I think we were looking at, weren't we, defensively? That's where Forest Green's issues are. Going forward, yes, Ricardo Reese is isolated, but they're looking quite good with their formation, with Horton, McAllister and Clark, or Biarby just behind him. They're looking okay with that, and they're playing some good football in the middle of the park. Defensively, they desperately need a Jordan Moore-Taylor or Ryan Innes to come back shortly, because Kirkhoff, he got dragged up in the second half. He was looking a bit vulnerable. They had 2 midfielders of Bunker and Mendy in the centre-back position today. Kanu was out with an illness. That's where the vulnerabilities come. Forest Green, just defensively, just giving the ball away, looking a bit vulnerable there, and teams are just making the most of that. And it's uphill after that.
But Robbie told you at the start of the game, it's going to be another 2 weeks before they're back. But, you know, even if one of them comes back. So they've got to get through this period, haven't they? And make sure that they don't drop into a position where they could, you know, lose out on a playoff place.
Yeah, that would be a disaster, wouldn't it? They've still got a bit of a cushion. That's 10, 11 points there. But they're playing more games than everyone else. They've all got games in hand around them, but they've got to stay in contention. That's why I think the Carlisle game is probably the biggest of the three, because they're a team in and around Forest Green. So they need to try and take any points away from Carlisle and get points themselves. But the running's a lot easier. We're not there yet, but they're looking again. They've got to play every team twice, but unfortunately Forest Green, they're playing these big teams now when they are vulnerable defensively without Ryan Innes and Jordan Moore-Taylor. So they've got to create that, try and get 3 points on Saturday. They always try and get 3 points, and they've been playing okay. They weren't awful today or Saturday, but that Carlisle game's absolutely huge. Carlisle a decent run of form as well. It was a feisty game up in Cumbria, also with Robbie Savage in the crowd, and we know all about Mark Hughes as well, and the rivalry between them. So it's a huge game for Saturday. What more do you want than listening or taking your partner to Forest Green Rovers Carlisle with that half-time kick-off? It's going to be a good one. Of course, commentary here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire, because that's an absolutely huge game for Forest Green in the National League.
It absolutely is. Thank you very much for now. Billy Hunt, Reuben Curley, your commentary team here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire this evening. So it's ended in a 2-1 defeat. We'll round up all of the scores across the country in just a short while.
Match night.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
Join us this Saturday for an 8-hour Valentine's match day right here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. First at midday, Gloucester Hartpury's Red Roses will be ready for Harlequins in the Women's Prem, or maybe your heart will be swayed towards Cheltenham Town at Barnet in Football League 2 on DAB from 12:30. Then at 2 o'clock, there's the physical attraction of Gloucester Rugby away at Exeter in the Prem Cup on all our other frequencies. Then at 5:30, there'll be no love lost in the National League as Forest Green Rovers host Carlisle United on AM, FM, Freeview and BBC Sounds.
Live commentary of Gloucester, Gloucester Hartpury, Cheltenham Town and Forest Green Rovers.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge afternoon of sport here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire from 12 right through until 8 o'clock this coming Saturday. Feel the love on Valentine's Day, eh? Let's have a look and see what's going on then around the country today. We'll start in the National League, of course, where your commentary match has finished Rochdale 2, Forest Green Rovers 1.
All over Tom Morrison, didn't usher up a goal kick like he wanted to, and Rochdale get on the end of that. Defensive mistake from Forest Green. Rochdale the ball, the edge of the area, going towards forward. Shot goes in, goes towards the far post, and it's in! One defensive error from Forest Green. Rochdale pounce onto the end of it, and it's tapped in from Disawabe, and that was an error for Forest Green. It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green 0. Down the right, goes past one challenge, plays it across goal, and it's cleared half from the Rochdale defence. Back to McAllister, looking to get a shot away. A decent one as well. Scores! Goal! McAllister draws level. A shot from the edge of the D, powerfully placed to the keeper's left-hand side. And 3 minutes before half-time, Forest Green drew level. It's Rochdale 1, Forest Green 1. Get dispossessed and the ball switched drifted as well in the area. Goes past ice and it scores! Out of nowhere, Forest Green leaves the Salave unmarked in the penalty area. Do not give it that much space because it easily found the back of the net. It's Rochdale 2, Forest Green 1.
So 2-1 is finished to Rochdale against Forest Green this evening. Elsewhere in the National League, Aldershot shot against Southend was postponed. Boreham Wood have beaten Yeovil Town by 3-2 with a 92nd minute winner. It's finished Brackley 1, Halifax 1, Sutton United 1, Braintree 1. York City in the 103rd minute have won their game from the penalty spot. They've beaten Hartlepool United by 3-2. So the table, Rochdale top on 73 points with 2 games in hand on York City, who are 2 points behind with 71. Carlisle in third with 62. Boreham Wood with a game in hand on Carlisle are 3 points behind on 59. Scunthorpe in 5th are on 59 points. And Forest Green Rovers, who've played more games than any of the sides around them, are now down to 6th on 58 points. Halifax in 7th in the final playoff place, 10 points behind Forest Green Rovers. They've still got a decent cushion there, down to Halifax in 7th on 48. Southend outside the playoff places have 4 games in hand on Forest Green Rovers but are 12 points behind and would have to win all of those games to get themselves up alongside Forest Green. There's still a bit of a cushion there. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Aston Villa are beating Brighton and Hove Albion this evening by a goal to nil. A Jack Hinshelwood own goal in the second half, sealing things for Villa. Important 3 points that was. 3 points for Manchester City too. They've beaten Fulham by 3 goals to nil, closing that gap on Arsenal, who play tomorrow night. Antoine Semenyo, Nico O'Reilly and Erling Haaland scoring all of those goals in the first half for Manchester City. The basement battle between Nottingham Forest and Wolverhampton Wanderers has finished 0-0. Not really any use to either of those sides. Crystal Palace have lost 3-2 at home to Burnley. Big win that for Burnley. Hannibal, Jayden Anthony and an own goal from Jessamine Van Lerma from Burnley. After they were 2-0 down in the first half, got it back to 3-2 at half-time. That's the way it stayed. Jørgen Strand Larsen scoring for his first 2 goals for Crystal Palace. Both of those goals for Palace, putting them 2-0 up, but they've lost 3-2. And Liverpool are 1-0 up at Sunderland. We're in about 10 minutes left there. Virgil van Dijk on the score sheet for Liverpool today. So some important goals going in there. Other games being played this evening in the Championship. Charlton have beaten Stoke City by a goal to nil. Grimsby have beaten Accrington Stanley 1-0 in League 2, and Swindon Town are 2-0 up against Newport County with just seconds on the clock in that game as well. So a win for Grimsby and a win for Swindon in League 2. Of course, Cheltenham Town in action on Saturday at Saturday lunchtime, remember, here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire for Cheltenham Town at Barnet. That one's a 12:30 start on DAB on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. We'll kick the programme off, of course, with Gloucester Hartbury on all of other frequencies from 12 o'clock. So it's a busy old programme. It kicks off at 12 and we'll take you right through until 8 o'clock when Forest Green Rovers will round off things on Saturday afternoon.
The players.
We had the right mentality and the right attitude. Sometimes it just doesn't happen for you and you've got to try and find ways to win. If you can't win, don't get beat.
The manager.
Put it this way, we're not giving out any praise as it would be for the hard work, because that's got to be a gimme anyway. But when they do that, that's what happens. They put in those type of performances. It was really good tonight.
Follow Cheltenham Town on BBC Sounds.
I was speaking to the gaffer this morning. I think, he said it's probably the hardest team he's had since he's come back to the club in terms of selection, but that's a good thing, isn't it, for everyone at the club?
Just search for Cheltenham Town on BBC Sounds and hit subscribe.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
Let's round off things then with a look ahead to something else going on this weekend. The Six Nations returns. England continuing their preparations for Saturday's match against Scotland at Murrayfield. The England fullback Freddie Stewart was dropped for the fixture in Edinburgh 2 years ago, but says that was a big learning curve for him. And he's been chatting to the BBC's Sarah Orchard.
How do you feel after the weekend?
Good. I think because we're so early on still, it's tough to get too carried away. I think we're obviously very pleased with our performance and we're sat here 1 from 1. So, it's good to be pleased and happy, but then we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. There's still 4 games left in this tournament. We've got a big challenge this weekend. So I think it's about conserving emotional energy. You don't want to expend too much too early on. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So, yeah, we're in a good spot, I think. I think there's some excitement around this week.
Was Steve happy, sad when it came to the debrief? Were you all in his good books?
I think I'll give Steve credit. He's very consistent, and I like that about him. He is more interested in the performance rather than the end result, which probably sounds a bit ridiculous because, it's a very results-driven business, but it's great for us. We get good, honest feedback, and he was pleased, but he also identified a few things that we certainly need to improve going forward.
Early on, you took an absolute clattering. It was big. I mean, you've taken a few, but how were you when you came down?
It was bad, really. You lose sight and feel of where you are in the air sometimes. And when I started going that way, I thought this is going to hurt when I land. And I did whack my back, which is a bit bruised, and I got a bit of whiplash as well. So I'm a bit sore, but that's the beauty of this game. You have to swallow it and make sure you're right. And we trained again today and I was fine once I got going.
I appreciate it was incredibly painful, but was it almost poetry in motion of you having spoken out about being unhappy about the no escorting anymore, and then this was the result?
Yeah, I think, you know what, I know I was the victim that time, but I think it looks bad, but I think it's good. I think it's good for the fans get to see these big aerial contests now. I think before, when a ball went up in the air and you get escorted, there's no there's no thrill, there's no excitement about that. Whereas now we've got big guys coming to chase and get in contests. We're seeing big collisions, and I guess we are probably more at risk of injuries, but it's just part and parcel of the game. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Has anyone actually spoken to you in an official capacity after you spoke out about it?
No, I've had nothing, no conversations with anyone really. I probably at the start I was a bit hesitant about it, but I think the more I've been involved, it's certainly made my job more difficult and probably changed the way I approach high balls now. But I do really enjoy it. I think it feeds transition attack. It makes our job more challenging, and I said earlier in the interview, like, it brings back that genuine one-on-one. I've always been very competitive. I grew up with two brothers, so I always want to come out on top, and I think now it's like, right, it's a fullback versus a winger.
Freddie Stewart, England fullback there, getting ready for the Six Nations clash against Scotland. Thanks for your company this evening. Back with Sport at 6 on Friday night, of course, between 6 and 7. Whatever you're up to, enjoy the rest of your evening. It's finished with defeat for Forest Green Rovers at Rochdale. We go again with a marathon on Saturday from 12 o'clock. Catch you there as well.
On the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
Play BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
and on your radio.
The sound of where we live is
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
At 10 with the latest BBC News, I'm Andrew Strachan. The former Prime Minister Gordon Brown has called on the police to interview Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor in relation to information in the Epstein files. Writing in the New Statesman magazine, he also calls for an in-depth police investigation, claiming that details in the document show how Epstein was able to use Stansted Airport to traffic girls from Latvia, Lithuania and Russia. The former prince has always strongly denied any wrongdoing in his association with Epstein. A woman who killed her partner, cut up her body and buried it beneath her garden has been jailed for life. 40-year-old Polish woman Anna Podedvorna was yesterday convicted of murdering Izabela Zablocka in Derby in 2010. A statement from the victim's daughter read out in court said her mother's disappearance had left a huge void in her life. Detective Inspector Kane Martin led the murder investigation and says the case was difficult to work on.
What we found was truly shocking. I remember receiving the call when Isabela's body was discovered on that Sunday. I was expecting her just to be buried in the ground, and I say just, but I say that based on what we found subsequently. To learn that she'd been cut in half at the waist, and when you tried to contend with that detail in your mind, it's really quite challenging.
Well, the judge said she'll serve at least 21 years before being considered for parole. The Metropolitan Police says the injuries sustained by two boys in a knife attack at a secondary school in northwest London yesterday are serious but not life-threatening. A 13-year-old boy is being questioned on suspicion of attempted murder after the boys, aged 12 and 13, were stabbed at Kingsbury High School in Brent. This woman has a child of similar age at the school.
It's been devastating and traumatic for everyone, and I'm just, give love and support to everyone in the community, and I wish those two boys well, and I hope they recover fully and get the help and support that they need, which I think they will from this community.
The Dawson's Creek actor James Van Der Beek has died at the age of 48. He'd been diagnosed with bowel cancer in 2024. A man's avoided jail after his ex-cell bully escaped and attacked a woman and her dog who were out on a walk in East Tilbury in Essex. 27-year-old Danny Dodge was given a 12-month community order and must carry out 120 hours of unpaid work. The University of Wolverhampton is using the music of the Beatles to try to unlock memories of people with dementia. A study is looking at how sensory cues can trigger recollection. Megan Powell is the student behind the project.
Beyond the data, the event became a vibrant social space. People who'd never met before were quite literally coming together to share their stories, and it really created a sense of community and shared heritage.
And Oscar winner Morgan Freeman is the latest celebrity to be signed up by the bread makers Warburtons. The actor can be seen in the new TV ad to commemorate the Bolton Company's 150th anniversary.
What the hell's a crumpet?
It's a sort of delicious round baked thing with holes.
Like a bagel?
More holes.
How many?
About 300.
You Warburtons are crazy.
He follows in the footsteps of Olivia Colman, George Clooney, Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson and Peter Kay. It's coming up to 3 minutes past 10. I'm off.